Uncrustables are the ones that haven't been eaten yet.
Yeah, that's what. Unbitten Uncrustables, which then becomes a taco. Is it a taco?
Yeah.
Also, dumplings as a calzone. I can get behind that.
I'm sorry you had to come to this part, Sasha.
If there's no, then it's
Also,
zero starches.
The salad is steak, mashed potatoes, and flan.
Fucking flan. Bonus round: turducken with sausage stuffing, chocolate and soup. A wet salad. Fucking cake is lasagna. American flapjacks.
Honestly, cakes are layered. I get that. Big Mac is a cake.
Nachos is poutine, Lucky Charms, and salad with croutons.
What is this
What
geometric
is this?
figure?
I have to know.
The cube rule of food.
What is the nacho
nachos,
geometric figure?
fried
I
noodles,
don't understand this.
couscous, and ramen, otherwise known as wet nachos.
Wait, what?
Muffins,
Wet nachos are the best nachos.
muffins or other blocks of starch are type 1 toast in raw, unsliced form. Rice, you are free to interpret the nature of rice however you wish. Vanilla soy latte is a 3-bean wet salad.
Alright, D&D has been fun, y'all. I'm gonna leave now.
It was the latte that pushed her over the edge.
The 3-bean
affected her on a
soup
personal
slash wet salad.
Wet
Adam,
salad is what got
How
me.
much has been recorded? How much has been streaming?
Oh, good amount.
I'm gonna start just referring to going to Starbucks in the morning for my coffee.
They're just
I need
like-
to go get my my bean
morning
my
salad.
wet bean salad.
A couple of minutes after Sasha joined, and we were spending 15 minutes talking about soup salads. That's when we started.
I get tea, and everyone was like, "That's dirty leaf water," and I was like, "Yeah."
Now you've got them. You've got them with their 3-bean salad.
Better than dirty
Or wet
bean
bean
water, I
salad.
guess.
The wet bean salad.
Wet bean salad.
Is that what tea is? Just wet bean salad? Or
It's dirty leaf water.
dirty leaf salad?
Tea would definitely be a salad. Yeah, tea would have to be a
Wet
salad
salad.
based on this.
There's no starch.
Tea is definitely a
so-
salad.
Yep.
Does
It's
it
just a
count
wet
if you
salad.
take the leaves out?
No.
Then is it just wet?
It's wet salad extract.
Wet salad
Obi, why would you do that?
The essence of wet salad.
I'm never gonna drink tea again after that. I'm just gonna imagine someone taking a thing of iceberg lettuce, boiling it, just
And somehow gaining nutrients. The essence of wet
So,
salad is the only
that
way I
make-
refer to tea from now on.
Alright,
So, celery stalks with peanut butter is a taco, correct?
What's this?
Celery stalks filled with peanut butter is a taco, correct?
Oh, 100%.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, no starch.
No,
Because
No
there's
there's
bread
no
in the
starch.
No starch, yeah.
Celery counts as a starch, doesn't it?
No,
No.
it's a vegetable.
Oh, so that's
Well,
a
I mean,
salad.
vegetables have starch. Potatoes have starch.
Yeah, that's still
So,
celery with the like ants
ants on a log
hill.
is a salad.
Yeah, is a salad. Yes.
It's a taco.
Let's see here.
It
According to
looks
Google-
like a taco,
Cube
but that's
rule of
deceiving.
sort.
Don't let your eyes deceive you, sir.
According to this,
That is a salad.
celery is a non-starchy vegetable, so it
Yep.
is in fact a salad.
Oh, you got me there. I thought it had starch.
Let's see. Corn, peas, potatoes, zucchini, parsnips, pumpkin, butternut squash, and acorn squash are starchies.
So then, technically, pumpkin pie would just be considered a toast,
No,
Yeah.
Hate it.
it is considered
which
toast
which
because
I think
the topping
actually
is on
that
top,
is what
and it's in there.
that is actually one of the examples. Pumpkin
Yeah.
pie is toast because I
Yeah.
would have said technically it's a quiche.
Well, it's a quiche that
because-
turns into a toast.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wait, so this is the cube rule?
But no,
Yeah.
because if pumpkin is starchy, then technically
is
you have
starchy.
starch bottom,
Yeah.
starch filling.
and then Yeah, the crust
So,
at the top of the,
it's
of the
toast.
pie too. It's
Yeah.
triple
Also,
layer.
Well, then
I haven't made a
would that
pumpkin
be
pie
just
in a long
calzone?
time. But are there eggs in pumpkin
Ooh.
pie?
Could be a calzone. No, there's no eggs in pumpkin pie.
There are.
Oh,
And milk.
Yeah,
I guess in the
I
crust.
don't
guess the
remember if
minimum
there
is-
are
No,
not.
no,
and
in the filling. In the
Is
filling.
there eggs in
yeah.
the filling?
Because the
Okay.
the filling
Yeah,
is
it's
a
a
pudding.
custard. Yeah,
Is it custard?
the pudding, and we've come full circle.
Bringing
real
it
thing-
back around.
Wait. Okay. They said pumpkin pie slice is toast.
Bent toast.
Yes.
Bent
Yeah,
toast.
bent toast.
Toast with an angle.
Okay, Rita's asking, would a pumpkin spice latte with soy milk then be double bean toast soup?
No, because
No, they would
pumpkin
then
spice.
be considered nachos.
is there any starch in pumpkin spice?
Pumpkin
though?
spice
Is there-
latte
I don't
is
know there's any
nachos.
actual correlation between a pumpkin and pumpkin spice.
Now I feel like you're just making shit up, Kyle.
Well, if pumpkin is starchy, if
But-
pumpkin is considered the starch
Pumpkin is
here,
starch.
then technically, if it's suspended in a medium,
Let's bring
then
that
it's
back up.
considered to be nachos.
Let's see where the nachos go. So Lucky Charms, poutine, and salad with croutons are nachos. Although other things are salad, so if all salads are nachos.
So, unfortunately, according to Google, there is no pumpkin in pumpkin spice.
Would that mean all soups are also nachos?
So then it
They're
would,
just
that would,
wet
that
nachos?
would still be a three-piece
If
salad.
all salads are nachos, then that would mean that all soups are just wet nachos.
Unless, of course, there's any starch in cinnamon, allspice, cloves, ginger, mace. There's probably starch in mace.
No. Mace
Or
is
nutmeg.
like almost nutmeg style.
This is
It's-
the,
it's a
this is
spice.
the
There's a
quality
little
content
pumpkin
that
in
people
pumpkin.
come here for.
This is why you keep coming back.
I was going to bring this up last week and I didn't have a good segue, but then because we got stuck on the custard pudding cake debacle, this was a pretty good. This was like the perfect segue that I was hoping to bring up this argument.
Definitely the perfect way to bring it up.
So steak is now a salad.
It's
Yes.
a salad.
Oh, also, Adam, I think the difference is how much liquid is involved in the salad. Depending
So-
on the liquid level, then it becomes either a wet soup or wet.
Also, if steak is technically a salad, then that means steak is also intrinsically nachos.
Okay, wait, where's the nachos
No,
part coming
Nachos
from?
need starch. There's no starch.
But there
in
has
steak.
to be starch around.
No,
Steak.
so subject.
Your
Beef
mix.
Wellington.
It has
Beef
to-
Wellington is nachos and a calzone.
Number
Oh,
8,
those would be
nachos.
calzone, and
Nachos
Beef
are
Wellington would be a
salad with
calzone.
croutons.
when you cut it, though, once
So-
you cut the beef Wellington,
Then it becomes
a
taco.
normal steak would not be nachos. But if you had
No,
a country
once you
fried
cut a
steak,
beef Wellington, it would become sushi. Because the
but it's full
So
encompass,
no,
so
the
it would
first
be a
time you cut
calzone.
It would be.
So
It would go from a calzone,
beef Wellington is a
to-
calzone,
a taco, to sushi if you cut the other side like a madman.
and then to nachos because it has croutons on the outside.
no, first cut is sushi because it's still surrounded on all sides.
No, first cut would be a
No,
calzone.
it's
Once you
surrounded
cut
on
the
five
end
minutes.
off of it,
No.
then it becomes
Uncut is
sushi.
calzone. Uncut is calzone.
yeah, uncut
Yes.
is
First cut
calzone.
is sushi. Third
No,
cut,
sushi requires 4 sides.
yeah, it's a beef Wellington is
Yes.
surrounded on all sides by pastry.
Yeah,
So that would
it's
be
in
if you
rack.
only cut one
Sides,
side
so
of it,
then-
then it's not
then you
enough
would
Oh,
have
are you
five.
saying in
Then it's a
half?
sideways quiche.
Are you saying in half
like
or on the
slice.
Oh,
circular?
then it would be a
No.
quiche because it's
No, then it would be a
5 sides
salad
of 6.
with Red Bull.
And then
A salad
exactly,
with
it
salad
would
with
become a
Red Bull.
salad, and then in turn become nachos because it's a salad with croutons, aka
Oh, I see.
meat
I
with
see.
bread.
So 5. So
5 sides
if
would
it-
be a quiche,
yeah, it would be a quiche.
and then
if you
it
cut-
would turn into a salad, which in turn would make it nachos because
no,
it's a
it would
salad with
turn-
croutons.
No, it would. So it would go from what is 6? It would go from a calzone to a quiche to then sushi.
Mhm.
Because technically it would be you're cutting a round, right? They're being cut into rounds, so you would have surrounding starch, which technically makes it a
Would be a
sushi.
sushi.
It couldn't
But
be
it
a
would
quiche,
also
because the quiche
be
requires
a
a bottom, so
salad.
the end cap.
And like Rita said, country fried steak would definitely be nachos.
End cap of a beef Wellington cut in a circular fashion would be a
Salad
quiche.
is zero starch, so it couldn't ever be a salad.
It would
No, but
be
a nachos would be salad with croutons.
Yes.
And steak would be salad. Hence, steak with croutons, aka bread, would be nachos.
If it was cut up into cubes.
Also, am I the only one who's interested in eating a salad out of a bread bowl now?
That's
Yes.
bizarre.
Absolutely.
I would rather have nacho beef Wellington than salad out of a bread bowl.
Nacho beef. Wellington's not bad.
That does sound actually delicious.
You just take your puff pastry and dredge it in Doritos, nacho cheese Doritos.
Yeah, just get a beef Wellington and smother it in nacho sauce. I'm fine with that.
On that note, I want
This
to get more.
extremely high-end
Up
thing
to
that takes a
chaos.
lot of time and is a lot of money, and just smother it in fucking nacho sauce. I'm
Obi
down.
needs more
You're gonna go
dirty
get
leaf
more-
water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wet,
no,
wet
I'm not gonna
soup
get dirty leaf water.
extract.
Oh,
Yeah, wet soup extract. No, wet salad
Wet soup
extract.
extract.
Wet salad
Wait,
extract.
okay. Wait. What is beer? Because it is
Delicious.
Starch.
toast.
There's no starch in beer.
No, there's no.
Wet
I mean,
salad.
Yeah, the wet salad.
Wet salad.
Okay. No starch.
I mean, technically,
Salad.
it's a bunch of like salad ingredients that become wet. So yeah,
Would that make it toast? Would it be wet toast?
wet toast. I
Oh.
think beer is wet toast is accurate.
That
I think that's a good description. I am drinking some wet toast
because
right
it's
now.
just the starches.
So I guess to
But-
put this to rest, any bread pudding would be a toast. Pudding would also be a toast. And there we have it. We're just it's all toast.
Chili bread bowl
Yeah.
sounds
Circle.
delicious, by the
We've
way.
come full circle.
Well, I had
Also-
no idea, but when I was a kid, my grandma and I made Ukrainian calzones together, apparently.
Are those toaster strudels?
They're pitishki, and we also made pilmeni, which I guess two calzones.
What's a pilmeni?
It's a little bit of meat, and then surrounded with kind of like a dumpling, but it's very small.
Oh, like pierogi
And,
almost?
Yeah, like
actually,
pierogi.
pierogi is the Russian
The
word.
Russian,
Pilmeni
yeah.
is the Ukrainian.
Well, according to
Okay.
example 4, that would be considered a
A
calzone.
calzone.
Yeah, it's a dumpling.
That's
So it's a
pretty much
calzone.
what
Yeah.
Dumplings are a subset of calzones.
Or empanada.
That's an
Yeah,
easy calzone.
empanada would be a
It
calzone.
looks like a calzone.
Yeah.
Well,
The
we also
calzone
made
lies to you.
made pilmeni, which was like this, almost like this canoe-shaped bread, and then inside it was like
Oh,
a mixture of
Taco.
yeah,
So a
cabbage.
taco.
So Polish or
Meat stuff.
Ukrainian tacos.
Yep.
Delicious.
Oh no, it was covered on all sides, so it was a calzone.
Oh, so it still was a calzone.
Yeah, but it was shaped kind of canoe-esque.
So I think then that would make the beaver tails a toast.
I don't know what a beaver tail is, but it sounds delicious.
It's a type of Canadian confectionery.
Yes.
Like a
Is it
donut kind of thing,
delicious,
right?
Obi?
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's why Canada's working on catching up to us in obesity. Poutine and beaver tails.
Gravy,
I mean,
cheese
I'd
curds, and
say the
french
rest
fries?
of
What are you
Canada.
talking about?
Quebec, on the other
Okay.
hand.
You mean Canadian nachos?
My apologies.
Poutine is delicious.
Kyle.
Kat,
You
do you
did
remember
this
that place we went to
knowing
New
what was
York?
going to happen.
you bet you
and
you
did
you
it
were
anyways.
Yeah, we're gonna have a long rest tonight, and when fucking homeboy Robot's making dinner, Lance is gonna be stuck on cube food.
Existential crisis. Lance is just focused on, is this a sandwich or not?
Uh,
So if you make a fresh loaf of bread, and then like input the meat
Technically,
into
the
it,
inside's a pudding.
hollowing it out,
It's
the
a
hollowing out of bread, would that make it a
What's a corn dog?
Yeah.
So
I guess it's
the
kinda
A
like
corn
calzone.
dog is a
corn
calzone.
dog.
Just calzone.
But it has the stick sticking out.
Well, that's not.
I mean, that's still part of the center.
It's a quiche.
No, that's because it's still like mostly
it's-
surrounded.
it's
It's just
a-
the stick is a medium
Mostly
of
surrounded.
input.
It's not
a-
six sides, Kyle.
A
If
corn
you-
dog is a calzone with obstacles.
If you've battered a hot dog in cornmeal and deep fried it, no stick, calzone.
Yes, but if it has the stick in there, then it's a quiche.
I can live with that.
I mean, it's still like I don't know.
Like, they're kind of
Wait,
going
is it a quiche or is
It's
it a
literally
salad
on
It's
the
dog?
ruled.
guide.
It's
Wait.
ruled as a calzone.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, every
It's
every
just a calzone
calzone
with
becomes a quiche
obstacles.
once you bite it. Once you bite a calzone,
Nobody
it
says
becomes a
anything
quiche.
about
No,
the
once you bite a corn
obstructions.
dog, it becomes sushi.
That's the
Because it
equivalent of saying,
starts
like,
off as a
No, once you bite a corn dog, it becomes a quiche.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on corn dog quiche. First bite
Either
quiche.
the wood doesn't count, in which case
Yes, because it's only a delivery method. Yeah.
yeah, but it's still impeding the starch from completely encasing the not starch.
It's like
You would-
very
you would if
tiny.
it's in a bread
You have
bowl.
to just not count the wood, and if you don't count the wood, then there is not starch on that side of the corn dog.
Wood is generally made of carbohydrates that can range from simple sugars to complex combinations, including carbohydrates, cellulose, and
So
starch.
so is wood a
Dig in.
starch? Wood's a
So
guess
starch?
wood can
Wood is
be
starch.
considered a starch.
Oh.
There we go. Answer that. It's a calzone that turns into a quiche.
There you go. Still a calzone.
Thank you for the official ruling.
Good old
You
Dr.
beat me to
Google
it, Dagan. I
coming
was
in
actually
clutch.
looking that up.
We're
Uh,
learning lots today.
Rita's favorite calzone is a potato knish. Calzone transformer. Pizza in disguise.
Oh, fuck.
Some rebranding is required.
Well, the Conquistador is still a quiche because it's still an open top. The open deck is open top.
Yeah.
Frittata has
No,
I
no.
mean,
It's a quiche.
No, it's a
ship is
quiche.
salad.
I'd say quiche, yeah. Yeah. No, it's a quiche.
It's a
It's
quiche.
got layers.
if
It's got-
everybody's inside, it's a calzone. So I guess
Well, technically, if it has layers, then it might
a
be
cake?
considered a cake.
Which cake is represented as
A stack of flapjacks.
Thing.
there was
Or a
yeah,
Big
no, there
Mac.
was the cake was on here. Oh yeah, cake is big, that's right. Yeah. Cake is a category, that's right. I just enjoy the fact that a turducken is a salad.
uh,
Yeah, well this one
There's actually an
this one
example.
does
Is
say,
it? Nachos.
say stuffing.
It would be
Is-
nachos.
is it not
No, because the starch.
is in the
uh,
center?
No,
Center
because
starch?
there's a higher percentage of starch in nachos compared to the relative toppings that rather than a salad.
They said that turducken with sausage stuffing as a salad.
No, stuffed with sausage. I believe.
What are we talking about?
Like stuffing, like bread stuffing.
anything. Well, according
Oh.
to the chart, anything stuffed in the middle as far as the starch is a nacho, right? Because
Starch makes its way into the middle. It's a nacho.
yeah.
Or a cake, depending on how organized it is.
yeah. How well you've layered it. It could either be a cake or nachos.
Duck, duck, goose.
Yes.
Also, has anybody eaten a fucking sandwich with bread, fucking French fries, and ketchup? Like, I've never heard of this.
What?
That's what a chip buddy. I have put French fries in sandwiches on the hamburgers and stuff, but like I've never taken bread, French fries, ketchup, bread, French fries, ketchup, bread. Like it is a cake, but it's the structural purest ingredient neutral sandwich on the sandwich alignment chart.
Now I want like crispy hash browns to use
Okay.
in place of a bun on a hamburger.
Oh yeah. Yeah. As long as the emblem for the band is just a fucking Pop-Tart.
Mm-hmm.
Radical sandwich anarchy.
Radical sandwich anarchy.
The who? They come later.
Who's on first? The structural purest ingredient rebel. Ice cream between waffles is a sandwich. Oh, no, for Sasha.
Like, I thought about it and I was like, that actually sounds really good. Ice cream and like between waffles? Yum.
I'm pretty sure it's
funnel
cheeky.
cake.
Yeah, that's pretty much all funnel cake is.
depends on how. I mean, funnel cake is generally normally pretty tightly wound. I would almost consider that to be a toast.
It's a toast. Confirmed.
I mean, if it depends on what you put on it, because if you put like some of the strawberry syrup shit and it starts dripping down, then it's nachos.
Basically, once you bite it, anything can be nachos.
I mean, yeah, depending on how you eat your food, anything could turn into a nacho.
Everything is nachos.
Well, guys, this is a good session. Y'all have a good night.
Right?
Yeah, what an incredible start to this week. Let's waste an hour arguing the definition of pudding and discussing the cube rule of food.
Dagan, what have you brought upon us?
No, it was Kyle who brought this
No,
up.
this was
that was
all-
100%
No,
Kyle.
Dagan started with the
Oh, no,
spotted
it's
dick.
definitely
Spotted
Dagan's-
dick.
Yeah.
Dagan's
Spotted
fault.
dick.
Just put the spotted dick up there.
Yeah. Yeah,
My bad.
And then I happened to mention that they were calling this pudding a cake, or this cake a pudding, and what was the fucking difference? Well, and now here we are an hour later.
The question is, what the fuck are Lucky Charms made of that they become nachos?
Marshmallows mixed with the.
Yeah, because
Starch,
it's probably the marshmallows
starch.
aren't technically
Oh.
being counted as a starch.
Well, like the regular
Little
part
oat
of
cereal.
Lucky
Yeah,
Charms
I would
is cereal,
expect
which
both.
is starch.
I say
And the
marshmallows
milk.
are also starchy. It's the milk that makes it. So is Lucky Charms in a bowl not a nacho? Do you need the milk to make them nachos?
Well, it doesn't show the milk though, right? It just says.
Yeah, it just says Lucky Charms because I think all the marshmallows.
I don't think
intermixed
the
with
marshmallows count as a starch. I think it's just the
Is that the
Little oat
straight up glucose?
cardboard
no.
things that count as starches.
Well,
But isn't
marshmallows
that the
have starch.
argument that the marshmallows are mixed with the starches? Therefore,
Yeah.
it's the-
That's why
Therefore
they're
it's
nachos.
I mean, wait, you like to really get into it. You have to really define what is a starch.
Dagan?
yeah, right.
Now, if you just say only bread constitutes, well, then that might clear some things up.
No, because then you have to
and-
define bread.
Potatoes are starch. So would a shepherd's pie be a sandwich?
Is a pancake bread.
Or no,
Uh,
shepherd's pie would be a toast.
It would be
Shepherd's pie-
shepherd's pie would be upside down toast.
Upside
Yeah.
down toast.
It'd be
Agreed.
a sandwich. No, it'd be a sandwich. I think I'm on team sandwich for shepherd's pie.
You don't put mashed potatoes on the bottom. You put the
No.
mashed potatoes on the top.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's not like it's like
It's
layered
inverted toast.
taters. Yeah, it would just be a reverse toast.
I think it's a cake.
There's no.
Where's the other
There's
layer?
only
There's
one
no
layer.
multiple
It's
layers
capped-
of
No,
it's
there's
it's
multiple
meat
layer-
capped
no.
with mashed potatoes. It's
No,
inverted
but
toast.
and
There's
peas
carrots.
and
Carrots are
and
starchy.
deliciousness.
Peas are also
Starches.
starchy. Yeah, it's
You
it's
got
cake.
it's starch meets starch, which
It's
makes
cake.
a cake, Kyle.
It's
I think
cake.
it might be a
I,
cake.
I would say
Cake
it
nacho.
is. It's
Gotta be cake
nacho.
nacho.
It's toast topped nachos.
But there's starch in the center.
I would say it's a cake because it is layered with starches.
It has organized layers.
And also, the
There's
ruling from
carrots and
Google
peas
is
in there.
Or it's salad with toast on top.
so salad with croutons.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I mean,
So
salad
it
with
is. It's a soup.
a soup. Yeah.
Um,
So
the
that's considered
the
a soup.
official
with
Google
toast.
ruling is there is starch in Lucky Charm marshmallows.
So Lucky Charms is then a toast.
I get. Yeah,
No,
until
Lucky Charms is then the same as mashed potatoes, right? Because it's all one thing, and mashed potatoes.
no, but it's all starch. Oh, that's true.
It's a salad. So Lucky Charms.
But there's
is a salad.
sugar
Lucky
and
Charms
milk.
is a salad.
Hey, eating healthy.
But when you introduce the milk, does it then become
Nachos.
a nacho? Because then it's suspended in the medium.
I think the real question is you have to watch how far you go into the derivatives of starch. It convolutes the process.
Things are getting starchy, guys.
I think
Yeah.
we really need starch to just mean bread and bread equivalents.
Yes. I think that it should have been more properly defined.
Yes.
But
What
if it
about
was, then we
cornstarch?
would have this lovely clarification.
This needs to end.
The
Okay.
radical sandwich.
Oh,
the radical sandwich anarchist
Okay.
in me needs this to
So
continue.
tonight's session title is radical sandwich anarchy. Oh my god. Okay. We are quite literally going to table this discussion.
Roll for starch
I will hear
equivalency.
no more about starches.
It's a table toast.
we're gonna get this conversation to go.
Okay, so last week in SteamWorld Forge, what the fuck happened?
Complete lack of
Lots.
starch.
Lack.
It's a real
don't have to-
stiff.
I don't have to take this, guys.
You did this to us.
Kyle brought this along because he was like, I got about 3 hours of prep ready. I need to kill an hour of this session.
No, there's no cliffhangers that I need to end Mike on this week, so I think we're okay.
Not yet. Give it like 2 hours and you'll be like, oh, I know where we can stop tonight. Before that thing happens.
All right. So last week in SteamWorld Forge, I believe the Breakfast Club had finished their battle with the simulacra of Zuthar Hansulis in his tower in Zuthar's Vale. You then discovered some various magical
Oh, is it big?
artifacts that now are in your possession. You also discovered that Zuthar was actually still alive. There was a little bit of consternation between the party members before it was resolved, ending in a couple individuals being banished in an attempt to wrangle the situation. However, Zuthar Hansulis was freed from his prison inside that of an enchanted ruby by Lance. Upon his release, there was some issues pertaining to why don't you not want to be a rat anymore. You did find, however, that it would appear, given circumstances, that possibly Zuthar had been tricked by someone very close to him. An individual who now is probably spending his final years, if he still lives, deep within the mines of Boulder Bay, for a somewhat failed necromantic Ponzi scheme. And after that was all said and done, you notified the you notified Hans Gruber, as he's been come to known. His real name is Lawrence Esser, the individual from the the Shadow Network, uh, of the black market, so to speak. That you did in fact not recover the artifact, as the situation had complicated itself before it could be located, due to the release of Zuthar from his prison, as it were. Bill and Gary managed to disarm the fail-safes around surrounding the tower, rendering the lockdown protocol inert. And I believe that the party had just made their way back to the ship, back to the Conquistador, to get a long night's rest. You had also spoken to Zuthar about him being able to possibly send you to Avernus instead, to which he was more than happy to oblige and return the favor for you freeing him from his crystalline prison. You had recovered a staff, which apparently turned Gary into a crystalline dragon that belches pink fire. You had also managed to recover 3 primordial flux crystals. You had also managed to discover what was in some of those potion vials, which happened to be extraplanar oozes of various sorts, shapes, and sizes. I feel like there was something else. What else did the party recover?
I got
Two dragon stones.
Yeah.
Two
two
dragon
dragon
stones.
stones. I got the book.
And
from
yes, make the art of
Making
making friends, Necromancy and You by CC Ringo.
I thought it was You've Got a Friend in Me.
You've got a friend in me. Volume 2 is Making Friends.
I think
How
that's
to
it.
make friends in influence circumstances?
Oh, I got an Essence of Gaz.
Yeah, and oh yes, Essence of Gaz.
How to make friends and eat people.
Making New Friends, Necromancy and You, Volume 2.
So we are back at the ship then?
I believe so, yes.
Alright, I'm gonna tell the crew to set the dining hall. Which doesn't exist, so we're going to put some tables and chairs
Don't we have
up
like
on
a
the...
galley? Or do you not have a galley?
You do. Yeah, you absolutely have like a little a dining area.
Is there like a stateroom in the...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll put together like a little, like formal high chair for our guest.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
A mystery mouse tool.
Oh, and then I'll go find Bill.
All right.
Bill,
Yeah.
I think I found a couple dragon stones.
You found 2 or more.
2 of them. I found 2 of them in there. I want to like bring it up because we were talking to Zuthar and everything, and I wanted to make sure that he would like be cool if we took them since they're super rare and everything. But I feel like we should try them out in your armor and this shield and see what they do.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised what that shield can do.
Do you know what it does?
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised once you try it yourself.
Bill, actually, you absolutely know what that shield does.
He thinks you'll be pleasantly surprised at what it is.
And he nods knowingly. You will be pleasantly surprised.
What about your armor, Bill? What does your armor do?
Oh, just you wait.
I would like to go find Bill and Ringo while they're, or not Ringo, fucking Bill and Gary while they're haggling over dragon stones. Apparently,
Sure.
I will reach in the bag of holding and toss one of the dragon stones to Bill.
Okay.
I will attempt to catch it.
I will hand it to Bill
I will
very
take it.
gently.
I will take it.
All right. So
One of those like I start to toss it and then think better of it and just walk it over.
So these are
It's just like
at the moment uncut crystalline pieces. These are kind of very much like what shatters.
Wait, real quick. Is the music wedding?
Maybe. Kind of.
Is that like a traditional wedding song that's going on?
Maybe.
Music.
I don't hear any music.
Well, I
it
turned
was
it off.
definitely wedding.
It was like fucking Chopin's like waltz in D, like traditional wedding song.
Yeah, maybe.
Very
wanted something
confused
kind
about
of,
what
like,
the music was doing.
Easy going, and I was like, I was thinking it myself. I was like, maybe no one will hear it.
I mean, it's very lovely.
Sorry,
It's
Lance.
just-
Adam. I was just trying to get Lance in the mood for what
right?
comes next.
For when his lady comes up, hey, it's either me or your friends. Choose.
you've heard of a shotgun wedding. Get ready for the fire and flames of a lifetime.
Fire breath wedding.
Burn the non-believer.
Okay. So at the moment, they are like decently sized dragon stones. But they are currently uncut and like they are just kind of in their base component form.
Judging by the size of the stone and how big the slot is for the armor and the shield, can we tell that you can make 2 You
could get
two
like
per one stone?
two cut it and facet it properly. You're gonna get it like you can get just enough for one. Yeah, out of each. You know, it's like there's
So we can turn
yeah,
these 2 like
into the
raw
disc
stones
shape.
into
Yeah.
the 2 pieces that we need.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
But I
do we
can't
know-
just. It's not like plug and play. I'll be able to grab the dragon stone, touch it to the shield, and just like suck it in there or something.
No. Yeah.
So we have to find a professional jeweler of some kind, or
Arrow.
What?
I need you to cut something for me.
and also me.
Be right there. Like, waddles
Bring
in.
your drill.
Gary,
She uses, right?
if you're working on these dragon stones, would you mind if I took that book and that jar of gas, whatever it was? It looked kind of interesting.
Don't
Oh, yeah,
give a
sure.
shit. He steals it and then gives it to his angel.
I will give him both of those things.
Okay.
Go back to my area and
religion
read
check.
this book.
Okay.
Do I recognize what the essence of gas might be?
What'd you get? History or religion, your choice.
Oh, I'll do Well, -1 to both of them. So I got a 7 for religion.
Ooh, it sounds cool, but specifically what it's referring to, you're not sure.
Nah, I'll toss it over then.
I'll go back and read my book.
Like, it sounds important, but it, it's like, but who knows? Like, anything could sound important. So.
Wait, before you take that, Antinius, is that like something you can like? Do you inhale it?
I mean, probably. I mean, it looks like it's a gas.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the book for a second. I was like, as a
Don't use it
bookseller,
all. I want some too.
Fair enough.
Harrow,
What?
we found these cool stones. I think they're dragon stones. I think they'll fit in Bill's armor and this cool shield. But
Absolutely.
they don't fit now because they're like broken or something.
So the shield is broken still, and also the gem, like the stones are uncut.
Uncut
Alright, well,
to Gary means broken.
I'm gonna need both. I'm gonna need the pieces of the shield and the armor and the stones. Give me a
Hey,
little
go
bit
to
of
my
time.
get the armor. It's just hanging up.
Yeah,
Get the armor off the wall.
here's the pieces of shield.
I'll carry the armor to your room, Harrow. It's quite heavy.
Just throw it in the workshop.
Okay.
Better that
And
way.
I take the armor to the workshop and lay it down on the table.
Right. Well, get started on it.
Gary, you guys were all there when Morrison was talking about the primordial flux, right?
Yes.
I believe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't mention anything about an essence of gas.
He did not.
I'll follow Harrow down to the workshop and assist her by giving her a nice
Are you
guiding
okay?
shoulder massage.
Are you okay if I do the armor first and then the shield? Or would you prefer the shield first?
Oh, no, that's fine. You should probably like practice on the armor because that's gonna be Bill's.
I mean, I've done it once before. It's just time consuming.
I trust you, Harrow. Just don't.
Bill looks nervously on.
Just don't rush it. It might take a couple of days. Just
What?
be patient.
I'm sorry. Huh?
What?
You guys have gone long enough without it. It's gonna be okay.
I'm in no
Okay.
rush. Take your time.
I'm in a huge
How
rush.
does-
We're supposed to go to hell like as soon as possible.
It will be done right. I'd rather not rush it. I want to do it right.
I don't care if it's pretty.
I mean, you gotta like cut it just so, and there's different carvings and runes you have to put on there. It's not just a quick cut and slam it in there. There's a
Oh
bit of
my
finesse to it.
God.
Could you also engrave my stone with the symbol of the Order of the Pyre on the front? That would be awesome.
I will definitely try.
Did you put tits on mine?
Dagon hasn't gotten his stones engraved in quite some time.
What are you wanting?
Dagon or Bill? I
Like-
mean, which...
Orc?
I meant to say Bill, but
Are you wanting?
I'm not saying anything about
elvish
Daddy.
tiefling?
You're right either way.
Lady tits. I'm not particular.
All right.
Hmm.
Okay. I'll start with Bill's.
Okay.
You're gonna get mouse teeth.
Nice. All right. That was pretty damn good. It's a 19.
Oh,
Hold on. Give me a second.
Plus a
The
D4 because I'm
math.
giving you guidance.
Yeah.
But probably disadvantage because I'm breathing over your shoulder the whole time.
That's a total of 31.
Damn.
Oh, easy. Yeah, Bill's like you're like familiar enough with the Dragonstone. I mean, the stone seems to fall apart. It seems to just bend to your will, and it almost like when you go to take your chisel at it and begin faceting it, it seems to break apart perfectly every time. Every hit results in a perfect little facet and a break. And in, I would say, no more than a couple hours, you manage to not only completely like facet out this Dragonstone, but polish it, inscribe the runes. You watch it kind of get that warm golden glow to it. That seems to kind of like hum with an energy from deep within, and then with time left over to spare to copy in the sigil of Bill's crest.
So, can I also, as a bonus, not only do his crest, but with like glyphs and runes, try. I don't know if it'll impact the stone, but try and like carve out Bill's history on it too.
Okay, so kind of in a history kind of thing, like in like
Yeah.
a runic language, a brief what's that called? Like a
medical
like a-
bracelet in case
like
I lose-
a little epitaph is inscribed in runes like surrounding the
Right.
outside edge.
Taking like part of what we saw in the solarium and getting inspiration from that, trying to like make
Alright.
that
All right,
a part of
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you. I mean, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
Hey, Bill,
Yeah.
Bill, come here.
Oh, yes. How are you doing with the stone?
It's surprisingly. This one is fantastic. I don't know if you want to be there for when I pop the thing in.
Love to be there.
All right. Yeah. So there's the Order of the Pyre right there, and
Masterfully done.
if you look at it and you hold it up to the light, you can see bits and pieces of your life in there. So if you lose your life again, it'll be here.
Amazing.
It'll last.
Thank you so much, Arrow.
You're
It is so beautiful.
Right. You want to do the honors and pop it in?
Oh, no, please. You have done so much. I would love to see. Okay.
And I'll like show him like how to.
Okay. All right. So, Dagon, or Bill, you now have Dragonstone powered armor, or Dragonstone power armor, as it were. It's +3. Your movement speed is increased by 5 feet while you're attuned to it. It's +3. Your movement speed increases by 5 feet. There are a couple special little things that come from this armor. One is immovable object. You also get a +3 to athletics and acrobatics checks and saves. You also gain the unstoppable force perk, which gives you the charger feat while you are attuned to this armor.
That's dope.
And the last portion of this, if the user of this armor would be killed from any source, the Dragonstone shatters, and either 1 HP is given back to the user, or the Dragonstone absorbs the attack, rendering the armor inert once more.
So, is it a knocked unconscious type of thing, or like coup de grace, like all 3
It's like
death saves?
something that would kill you outright.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
Or on 3 failed death saves, the Dragonstone would shatter and he would gain 1 HP back.
Ooh, been close to that a few times.
That is
That is
fucking sweet
Very good.
armor.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very cool.
Like,
It's beautiful.
Lance.
holy shit.
Molders. I feel like Lance is really just the boulder from fucking Avatar.
She's just getting all these hand-me-downs.
You're welcome.
Lance is over there like, I'm sad that it's not mine, but it'll be mine one day.
Yes, when you get a better set of armor, that will be mine.
Bill's gonna get knocked unconscious and Lance is gonna be trying to undress him before he dies so the stone doesn't break.
Save the stone! Save the stone!
What are you talking about? This is last wish.
And then, do we have enough time to start with the shield, or?
So the shield it's probably going to take you a little bit longer. Partially for the fact that it also needs to be
Welded.
put back together. Yeah. Would you go ahead and make a Arcana or History check?
I'll give you guidance.
Give me a second. That's a 16.
Okay. So because of the nature of the shield, it does have like magical properties, but the shield itself is sundered. Repairing this is probably going like it would take somebody very, very skilled to put this back together without losing any of the magical properties that surround this. However, one of the entries in Morrison's book that he lent you does mention that primordial flux can be used in the like reparation of magical artifacts that have been broken.
Didn't we also learn that somewhere else? When we first got like
No, I
the
don't
flux.
I don't think so.
I think we were told that extant could be used.
Extant
Maybe
is
that's
kind
what
of
I'm
a
thinking of.
stand-in substance for any material component, but this is like a material that will rebind magical
Gotcha.
energies.
I think I was
once more.
thinking extant.
Or it
But
can
it-
be used in such a manner.
It doesn't say how, just that it can.
I mean, that's the thing about primordial flux, is it has many properties. It is an item containing, many states of being like all at once. It's kind of what makes it unusual and makes it exceedingly rare.
Okay. Gary, it might take a little bit of time on the shield, because it's magical, and I can't repair the magic, and we have the flux, and apparently that can help rebind the magic.
It would also
but
speed up. It would speed up the repair and rebinding that would need to take place. So it's kind of a. You can use this, like, you have three primordial flux crystals. You can use them how you see fit. You can use one is going to be needed to transit to another plane. For certain you could might take you 1, 2 if you fail.
Oh yeah, here. I'll hand her the cigar box full of flux.
Alright, I'm gonna take one. Because I'm not... I haven't worked with it, there's no real guide on how to work with it, so...
I
give me
think
some
the best way
time.
to do it is to cut the crystal in half so that you get 2 little pieces and you can make them nipples.
I'll keep that in mind. We could, if you're really, really wanting that, we could do that to some of your armor. Like, affix some gems. Maybe some nice rubies. Can affix them there.
No, I've got nipples.
Didn't know if you
What
wanted
more
them to be
money
extra
experience, though?
represented. But,
No,
All right,
Yeah.
Hero.
to distract my enemies.
If you're gonna roll,
oh god. Alright. I'm so afraid! Gary, is there any way you can, like, double make things better? Like,
I mean,
Double
how long
make
is it going
things
to take
better.
you?
Do you have some history with the
I don't
shield?
know.
Maybe I could stand by you and give you a hand to help you with any questions you may have.
I can give you bonuses to attack rolls and saving throws.
That's not what. No,
I mean-
I'm not attacking it.
Guidance from Bill sounds like advantage.
I'm saying, like, I do know the shield, so maybe you can get advantage if Kyle allows it.
I would, yeah, with the help action, I would allow that.
All right. Yeah, Bill, if you can kind of help me with that, and Gary, work your juju.
Yeah, I got you with guidance.
You are skilled. You can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. 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 That's a 21.
Okay. So, now to do both of these things, oops.
I feel like I'm gonna barf.
The
First
shield
roll
now
is
in
the
6
nice.
pieces.
So I would say that is a success, but it is going to take you a couple days to fix this.
Alright.
This is much more involved. This is much more intensive. This is almost a round the clock, like, repair. It needs constant monitoring, constant adjustment, making sure that the flux doesn't just spontaneously combust or erupt or burn away. It is incredibly difficult to smelt. It takes to get it to break down into anything, to find those kind of latent pieces of arcane energy and attach the flux to them to kind of reorchestrate the web of energy that makes this thing whole is incredibly complex.
Jesus Christ. I should have slept first. Alright. I guess this is what I'm doing for the rest of the day, guys. And tomorrow? Yeah.
So, you will need... Oh, okay. 24 hours of uninterrupted time to be able to do this.
Alright. Gary!
I'm right here. What's up?
Okay. I'm gonna need a full 24 hours on this.
You did bills in
So-
like 6 minutes.
And his wasn't broken apart. This is broken. The magic was broken. And
Okay. Do you want me to bring you some, like, bread nachos or something?
No, just can you keep an eye on things and I don't know, can
Little
we
shit.
delay going anywhere for a full 24 hours?
Yeah, I mean, we can just chill here.
Okay, because I'm
Or
doing
we can
this.
start heading back to the city to go see Morrison.
But we're gonna talk to the Zuthar.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to, like, start that after we have dinner with Zuthar? Or, like,
No,
maybe
I've
tomorrow
started it.
morning? Oh.
It's like one of
This
those
is-
things is like, Harold's like,
This-
okay, yeah, and then, like, quickly find yourself just, trying to find, like, rummaging through books and, like, like, trying different things, and then, like, before you know it, like, before you know it, the forge has started, and there are things in process that, like, you, like, take that moment kind of hits you, and you're like, oh, I can't leave this. Like, it's like at the moment of, like, I should have not done this yet, and then realize that, like, oh dear.
So since I'm technically gave her advantage by helping her, do I have to help her throughout, or did I just help her initially and then I can leave?
Probably, like, initially, and then it's one of those things,
I've
like, Bill
answered
just
all the
kind of
questions I can. Good
just
luck.
gone. Harold
Bye
just not
bye.
paying you any attention, just constantly adjusting burners and, like, mixing fluids and going through her repertoire.
That's definitely out of my skill range.
Gary, if you want this, ever, just I need 24 hours. Don't let anyone in here. I swear to God, if I see a kobold in here, everything's gonna blow up. So just keep everything locked down, good to go for 24 hours.
Okay, we'll do.
No crazy fighting, anything, no accidental oozes, just I need this solid.
I will guard the door.
Can I bring you some food later today?
We'll talk about it later. Maybe not. No, no, just don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'll
can eat
slide
later.
some jerky under the door. Oh, you don't
Perfect.
eat meat. Never mind.
Harold
Okay.
eats meat.
So
I'll slide the
about this time, you hear the rolling orb of Cogsworth. Dad, we have a guest.
Oop, I think that's probably my cue. Cogsworth,
Hmm.
come with me.
Yes, sir.
I will leave.
Okay.
Good.
Like Harrow on the walkie of like, Levi, you know all the questions to ask. Have fun.
Everybody leaves, and you hear the door lock behind her.
Lance has been preparing a meal fit for a mouse.
Cheese.
Is it just every kind of cheese, like a cheese fondue? Please
Yeah.
tell me there's like a little.
There's
fondue fountain for
100%
him
cheese
to bathe
fondue
in?
here.
Fondue fountain, but all you have to dip into it is more cheese.
So the first one is Gerdats, which is basically like fried cheese over crackers.
Yeah.
This guy.
Wall of
Okay.
text.
Roll text. The next one is Fey Wild Eggs, which are like deviled eggs with grated cheese over the top of them.
like deviled quail eggs,
Yeah.
tiny.
And the next one is called Community Cheese, which is exactly that. It's a fondue.
I think I might actually want you to send me that recipe IRL because I just bought a fondue pot.
Dude,
So
literally, that's the recipe that I was like, I should start making this shit. It looks super good.
So when everybody comes up here, it's a fondue party.
I'll just sit there and be
With
sad.
Community
Oh,
cheese.
that's right. God
Or
damn
I'll
it.
sit there and make everyone else sad. I don't care.
That's more likely it.
Chocolate?
My bad,
I'll
I
rent you
enjoy
your
this.
very own porter potty. And a tent out back.
Needs to be like a tent down the block, though.
Okay. You see Tuthar escorting Zuthar, like holding Zuthar as they board and come into the estate room of your yacht.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I can't say when the last time I had a nice home-cooked meal.
Well, Lance has been hard at work ever since we got back to the ship.
Yeah,
I
I
have
got
no
you
idea
covered.
what he's been cooking up, but it smells delicious.
Well, perfect. Lead the way.
I will lead him into the little banquet room
All right.
and tell Cogsworth to go grab the hors d'oeuvres.
Brett's puppies
Right,
are
okay.
super cute. I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
Quick question: does Zuthar control Tuthar like Ratatouille?
On the hairs.
I think Tuthar
No,
is his own
no,
independent-
it's like verbal. It's like verbal commands.
Is it like Ralph and me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Big shot.
It's like if the familiar and the the wizard were swapped. All right, you. Hors d'oeuvres are served. Zuthar is delighted with the smell of things. You can see his little nose and whiskers twitching.
I'll prepare everything, but I want Cogsworth to like actually pass it out so I can sit at the table.
Okay. Sure enough, Cogsworth is more than capable of doing that. Would you roll a D100 for me, please?
116. Oh,
I kind of forgot we had Cogsworth for a second.
Okay, you're fine.
he doesn't backfire and try to stab everybody.
Cogsworth carries out the instructions as intended.
What was
Oh,
it? Like
just
an
a quick
80 or a
And
90?
and Zuthar, you do see like there's a very you have normal sized plates. Zuthar does kind of like wave his hand and conjures a small little plate and little utensils that he uses, and Tuthar sets about portioning food up and then kind of pushing it over onto Zuthar's plate.
Being the culinary host that Lance was, he would have probably found like a teacup saucer and like a caviar fork and maybe like a butter knife or something. Probably would have said something out.
Okay. All right. Good. To which case, Zuthar is appreciative of it.
I keep looking over at the screen and it just says Antinius worst angel ever. And I keep laughing at it every time I see it.
So, if you don't mind my asking, I do have a bit of inquiry. What is it?
Oh, I'm happy to give you the recipe.
That would be delightful. Please, before we depart this evening, give that information to Tuthar, if you would, please.
Does he like speak?
Tuthar just...
Can I give him like
just
a note
shakes
or
his head.
something? How do I talk to this dude? You there? Hello? Can you hear me?
He waves.
Oh, hey, bud. Can you take, like, notes for a recipe?
I pull. Go. It's all right. Go ahead. Tuthar like pulls out a little notebook, like waits expectantly.
Oh, not right now. Just meet me in the kitchen later. I just want to make sure you're good.
Put it away. Put it away. And just folds it and like stuffs it back in his vest pocket and just like stands there. You know, like he just like it's almost like it's a person, but it's there's something like kind of uncanny about it. It's really just, for all intents and purposes, an unseen servant with the illusion of like Zuthar over it, or an old wizard over it. It's kind of odd. Like the movements are pretty realistic, all things considered. It's almost like, but it functions more of that of like one of the automatons that you have seen patrolling, you know, the city streets, or the like loader bots working on the docks. Like there's something like oddly mechanical about it.
So I was gonna say a joke. I don't know if it's offensive, but then I thought about it. I'm like, I don't think anyone's actually gonna get the joke. The joke was, good thing we don't have rabbits on our ship.
Awesome stuff.
Good thing nobody got it.
Now I feel like I need to Google it. Why are
You have
rabbits
to explain
racist?
it now.
George.
there
There we go.
Can
Yeah.
I pet the rabbit, George? Big stretch.
Sasha, I can't imagine how you did not get this.
I do have
It's been a while.
a bit of inquiry. Who is it that controls these parts these days?
Oh, Gary's our captain. But,
No, I mean the land surrounding my tower.
You're in
People?
stasis for 90 years.
where the fuck are we?
Obi, you're real quiet.
I'm real quiet. Whoops.
A bit.
Well, you
Doesn't
said you
knock
were
you
in
too,
stasis
friend.
for about 96 years, so. Am I still quiet?
No, you're good.
No, you're loud. I mean, not loud. You're good.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, it should still be war with in this area.
Oh, the confounded Republic. If anything could have come out of my time away, it would have been wonderful if those blockheads would have sauntered off and left me be.
We could not agree more.
Who's like the dude running the shit when you were alive? Or not alive, but like not rat. Or not rat, but like normal rat person stuff. Last time before you were in the gym.
As I believe it, Slater something.
We know who that is.
You
That's one of
definitely
the
know the
families.
last name. Yeah, you definitely know the last name.
Daniela.
Oh, yeah. So wait, his Dukeness fucking married into the ship? I thought he was like the fucking lineage.
No,
They both have lineage.
Yeah, they both have.
But like Daniela's shit was like the one ruling it before?
So, let's see, where the fuck was this?
Brett, did you put your dog in a onesie?
No, he's got a blanket.
That's very cute.
Ashfield Slater, was the original ruling family of the Republic. They were like the founding one of the founding families. Actually, the best person that would be reciting this would actually be Zuthar Henselis. And it was actually, Ashfield Slater is the original ruling family of a collective of states before it was kind of like formed into the Republic, and then kind of solidified. And it was already kind of there. Basically anything else that would have happened in the interim, which would have been the Crimson Tide, the turnover of rule about that time. Unfortunately, Zuthar wouldn't have any knowledge of this because he would be in stasis. But as far as who was,
but did her family run the shit before he came along?
Yes, they were the original ruling family. They were the ones that started the Republic, that formed. That family is what formed the Republic. And took it from a collection of cities or city states and formed it into a nation.
Do you remember if the dude had any daughters, and if so, their names?
I'm not really concerned with politics of the time, beyond what was common knowledge, and not my area of expertise, and I spent many months, years abroad traveling. I'm not concerned with such frivolities of noble birth and
Yeah, but
such.
Those dicks were trying to tell you to stop it, right? And you're like, oh, I just want to retire. Somebody had been telling you, do what the fuck you want to do.
It was more about the RSB and just overall. This when I established myself here, it was still unincorporated territory. Territory, but I believe before my incident, they were causing me quite the headache.
Yeah, the RSB's a dickhead.
Bought incorporated the surrounding land, turned it into some sort of state or something or other, and then all of a sudden, now they're poking around, knocking on my door at odd hours of the evening and inquiring as to what it is that I'm doing on their land. It's preposterous. I was here first. This is mine.
You happen to remember, any of the names of the dickheads who were, come knocking on your door?
Not in particular. Sorry.
Well, you're useless. How do you like the food?
The food is wonderful. It is actually a common misconception that rodents only like cheese. I did find in my travels, I had met with a tribe. Sorry. Here we go. My notes. There was the Bajim, a tribe of rodents. Actually, it kind of rummages around and out of a very small holding. No, it's a very, very small, it's like a thimble. It's like thimble size, pulls out, but it's a little bag of holding.
That's amazing.
like pulls it out, and he has like this very elaborate like headdress, and he puts it on, and it's like the skull, and it's like feathers. Actually, this is in my youth, I suppose, or my younger days. Was, was given an honorary title after I bested Ninnick in ritual combat, and it's like. Fantastic species. One of the many places I found while I was traveling abroad, as it were.
There's so many avenues to go. I'm sure he wants to try out his tiny headdress.
Oh, can I
I
try
mean,
that on?
it's like
And-
it's perfectly fit for like a rodent's head.
Lance
So
will put his pinky out.
your pinky's like much smaller than his head, so it's like
He'll put his thumb out.
maybe a little closer. Kind of fine, and just kind of like sets it on there and kind of like adjusts it. Be rather careful with it, if you will.
I'm just gonna like turn around and look at it.
Yeah.
It's like made of like feathers and shit, or what's it made of?
Feathers and bone. Yeah, it's like some sort of like small animal skull, like that's been bleached and like ordained with like feathers and beads and gems. It's like seems to be some sort of like ceremonial headdress.
That's cool shit, man. Check this out. Hold on.
I will pull out. No. Oh, the helm from Geth, which is like made of bone and shit. That was supposed to protect me from the worms.
Oh yeah, that's. Yeah. No. What is it?
Oh, it's a helmet from like people we met in the Underdark, because there was these like crazy ass worms that would like go in either your like nose or your ears or your asshole, and they would just like take over. But this protects you from them.
It seems to be from kind of like peering at it, and his little whiskers twitching. It's somewhat of a similar barbaric lifestyle. It appears as well. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
cool
how
shit.
intriguing.
Thought you might like it. So what did you study before you like went all incognito?
Well, I was researching the planes and how they interconnect one another.
Oh shit! We totally need somebody who needs to help us with planes.
And it says that as Adam knows that was the entire conversation we had last session.
Our buddy Gary needs us to get to hell.
So, what is it exactly that you plan to do? That could be quite an inhospitable.
Oh no, we have this buddy. His name's Paul. He's like super cool. Like gets us all kinds of shit. He's like really nice guy. But they're trying to like defeat a bunch of demons or devils or something. I don't know. But like we have to get there before the other side, whether demons. I don't know. But we have to get there before they're back.
No, we stream.
Right.
It's more like a family matter. Like, there's some issues with a will that I need to get down there to take care of.
I see. Well, I did find something in my study that I think might be useful to you. When I traveled to the lower planes, as they are, I did not have such an item, and things were difficult. It kind of like pulls a do with it if you will, and you watch like Toothar kind of like reach in the little thimble, like, and pull out. And as he pulls, you watch like a fairly large like crystalline rock kind of emerge and enlarge, and like as he kind of like pulls it up, he's got this stone. Put it anyway, come on. You know, and Tuthar being or Zuthar being a little impatient with Tuthar, and Tuthar sets that's not really an appropriate name, but while I was traversing, I actually did make it to Celestia, and I was, after helping some of individuals there, I was gifted an item as recompense. It would have helped me greatly while I was during my brief stint in the Abyss or in Avernus. It's quite unusual, actually. This is a celestial orb of ever burning. It's rather a bit of a misnomer, if you will, though. And it's got like a little. It looks like a little bush that's a little bit of brush or something that's contained inside this crystal that just seems to be flaring with light. It might actually help you if you're attempting to stay there for any extended period of time.
What does it do?
The lower planes have a propensity to warp individuals and their sense of self over the period of time.
Don't get me wrong, that's cool shit. How does that help us get out?
Well, it doesn't. It helps you while you're there, staving off any sort of aberrant corruption that might try to worm its way inside of your psyches.
Ooh, maybe you had some aberrant corruption like worm its way into you, and that's why you're such a shitty angel, Antinius.
Lance puts on his helmet from Girth when he says worm.
But is it Girth or Gith?
Gith.
It is Gith. G-I-T-H.
Nice girthy helmet.
Girth helmet.
Anyway, as I was saying, it's called a orb of ever burning, but if it's exposed to any sort of corruption, well, that flame will only it will subside after 7 days. So a bit of a misnomer, if you will.
The
Hold on.
celestial orb of ever burning.
What does it actually do?
Well, it keeps you from going crazy.
And if it does what it says and burns you for 7 days straight, that certainly seems like eternity.
He touches, like, taps it. Quite safe to the touch. Just sleep near it.
Is it like only works with one person or like anybody around it?
It's 30 feet.
Ooh, okay. So we'll have to get cozy.
Wait, thanks, man. Does it only work for, like, demons, devils kind of dudes, or is it, like, everybody?
I would assume as much. I don't think that I would never be so foolish as to traverse the far realm, but I can only imagine that any time spent there would this would probably do nothing.
We have people who are like, have like gods pissed off at them, like ancient dragons, governments, and chefs. Will it like help with all that?
I don't believe it will. No, I don't. That's probably beyond the scope of such a mundane item.
We'll help chefs.
Then,
Only if the chef's in hell.
Dude, don't tat it.
well, as I've heard it told, the little bit of brush inside is quite the delicacy. This is heavenly, if you will. And just kind of chuckles to himself.
Ingenious!
Yes.
This shit feel like it's from your people?
Does it?
Oh, he's totally not like an angel or something.
All right. It doesn't necessarily look like one that I've ever met.
Dude,
Well,
fucking trust
I'm
me.
not here
No.
to judge.
Who have you met?
I've met a handful. It was, well, tossed about a bit for showing up somewhere I shouldn't have.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
But I would say that if you're attempting to go to Avernus, whatever business you have there, would be careful. It's full of backstabbing bureaucrats and well, it can be rather inhospitable.
And banish people.
Yeah, and even worse, family.
And that's why I chose to live alone.
So now that you're like free from the ruby, what are you gonna do?
Oh, well,
Ooh, I have a buddy who would love to talk to you. His name's Morty, and he's fucking like all into that magic shit. He's awesome.
well,
He loves sangria and mojitos on the weekend.
Plus, he's excellent at procuring any kind of magical goods or services that one.
Would you think that he would be rather more trustworthy than just my previous assistant?
Oh yeah, that guy's
He
trustworthy
is
as
a
shit.
pretty straight shooter.
Everyone.
Oh, we can have lunch. We can do brunch. Even better.
Oh. This is so many formalities involving food. It's such a waste of time, don't you think?
Well, we can just set up
Immediately, like 3 points off Lance's notch.
I mean, with all those ideas kicking around your brain, I'm sure your brain gets pretty hungry for nutrients and stuff.
Well, if it is the date and time that you have led me to believe it is, I do have some work that I must get to. I was attempting to locate or find my way back to Yambao. Now the question that still lingers is, where will this gate open in 3 years' time? Which I will, attempt to
Who's Yambao?
the city that floats within the deep ethereal.
Oh,
It's a disk of matter that surrounds a magnificent crystal. And it is interconnected to many beautiful places. If I had to guess, I'm not not sure if they're demi-planes or planes beyond our own in their own right, or what exactly. I didn't have much chance before I had a slight mishap and found myself back home.
Well, we're pretty inexperienced when it comes to all that, but if it would be okay with you, we'll pass the location of your tower along to our friend Morrison, who's fairly well studied in all of this, and perhaps he might be able to assist.
I will. Vet this individual.
Hold up. I ran out of sheets. Give me another one.
She's busy. Don't interrupt.
Yeah, Harold's not even
Fuck.
Yeah.
I've got cheats.
Gary, right, Morrison. Tell them to, I don't know, like, group call us or something. I don't know how it works.
Group
All right.
chat.
I don't actually have any more sending paper, but I'll
I don't have any in my inventory either.
and write a message and pretend like it worked for Lance's sake.
Oh, use your rock. Tell Duke that we need to talk to Morrison.
Oh no, it's fine. I just messaged Morrison.
Alright, cool. Let him know I said hi. Oh, and next time we're in there, we're gonna get punched.
I will let him know next time I have a message to send him, but I already sent this one.
Tell him blueberry mimosas or on me next time.
Lance, I think it's time for dessert.
Dude, you read my mind. I was just thinking about blueberries. How'd you know that?
Oh, you know. It's that bond that we share.
That was expertly done, by the way.
Now I have to find a dessert with blueberries and cheese.
Now, I guess another bit of curiosity for my sake. Why is it that you individuals decided to come here, of all places?
Oh,
Your
that's
tower?
shit we do.
Yes. I mean...
Oh, we were hired. I thought we went over this, but just to reiterate, we were hired by...
It's possible, but as my mind is, a bit on the fritz.
Oh, I understand. I do a lot of drugs too. So yeah, we were hired by like a group of treasure hunters that were after some of your stuff. And oh wait, can I say that? Do I remember who they are?
Do you remember who they are?
We didn't actually
Contract
break
broken.
the contract.
Uh-oh, here comes that conversation again.
So,
damn it.
technically not.
Yeah, we never broke the contract, so
Yeah, you
We
haven't
remember
broken the
everything.
contract.
We remember everything,
Yes.
and I did talk to
Yeah.
Hans and
Mhm.
did tell him that I would try to set up
And
a
he said if we do,
like I
we'd
would act as
find
a
it,
go-between.
but we didn't find it. But we never actually broke
No, like
the
I'm talking about
contract.
after we left the tower, I messaged
Yeah.
Hans and told him that
Mhm.
the Zuthar was still alive, but we would be happy
Lawrence.
to act as intermediaries.
Yeah,
And
and
Gary's
you
not
said,
directly identifying them. He's still using broad treasure hunter terms. So.
yeah, but you said
It's
specifically if you want to figure it, because we didn't know what they were looking for. But if you want to find out what you were looking for, you can make a deal with Zuthar.
So I will continue by in vague terms laying out that we were hired by a group of fairly well-off, well-connected, powerful treasure hunters that were looking for an artifact in his manor, and that I would be happy to connect him with them if
What?
he.
Possibly could they want of my things? Mundane objects I've collected from here and there.
Well, they were offering a fairly handy sum of gold, and they refused to tell us what it was. So they just sent us in to clear out all the traps.
He did tell you what the object, what you were like,
Yep.
and not like what you were looking for, but he didn't tell you
Yep.
what the object was.
I'm not broaching that topic quite yet.
And you can't. Well, I'm curious as to what would command such a high cost of hiring such esteemed individuals as yourself. I assume, as labor is cheapened these days. I
Well,
can't.
would you happen to recognize like a small box filled with
It was some kind of writing.
Many small boxes filled with bubbles.
It was a wooden box with some kind of writing on it.
I'm pretty sure it might be specifically that box that was on your desk in the room that we found your ruby in.
Oh, wait. I did. What was? It just kind of like stuttering, like mumbling over his words for a second. There was a clause in your contract for like if somebody needed to know like to complete your thing, then you were okay. This probably falls within those guidelines.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I also got permission from.
Yeah. Well, there's probably an addendum made. What would anyone want a severed eye of a beholder for? You know,
I'm sorry.
I did meet one once. His name was Frankfurt.
That's when you start getting the naming done.
Decent chap. But oh shit, what was the what was the word? Maybe a tad pusillanimous, but trending towards the mercurial on occasion. Decent chap.
Oh, I am all about the Puss Anonymous.
I mean, if you're not obtruse to us taking that box, or at least meeting with those folks to discuss that, it could be a win-win.
I
mean,
didn't say that necessarily.
I mean, you're 100 years past your era now. New connections would certainly be of benefit to you. Part of our reward, apart from the monetary gain, was supposed to be to meet with the, shall we say, the chief of these so-called treasure hunters.
Also, we'll totally give you back your tower.
Plus, they can do wonders when it comes to keeping the RSB off your ass.
That I believe.
That
Look, I
can
am
attest to.
I am uniquely familiar with your situation, not necessarily your situation, but the situation of being a stranger in your home world, essentially. Well, you might not say that I remind you of an angel per se, but I am certainly not from this time.
Oh, dude, we totally went back in time too.
Hey, the issue is that, of all things, it is a tad concerning that something of that nature would fall into indeterminate hands.
What does he even do?
Whatever you want it to.
I was like, oh, make my dick a fucking golden pedestal. Would it do that?
Are you familiar with beholders?
Yes.
Not more than that they're terribly scared of snakes.
I met one once at Frankfurt. Decent chap. Kind of like starts going through the thing again.
We've got an English rat, and a German spy.
um. Well, I mean, the issue is that technically, beholders are quite interesting. Whatever they dream about can come into being. Vis-a-vis, one able to wield a fraction of that power might be a bit concerning if it were to fall into the wrong hands.
So, like,
I mean,
if they
all the
dreamed of
more-
a chocolate, like, water slide, you could totally make that happen.
What did you say?
They dreamed of a chocolate water slide, you could totally make that happen.
I'm sure there's limitations.
I mean, I've totally had that dream, and that would be fucking awesome.
Is it just the normal water slide filled with chocolate instead of water, or is it the slide itself is made out of chocolate?
Oh,
I
that's a good
think
question.
at this point,
The way I had it was a normal slide, but there was like molten chocolate going everywhere. So when you slid
And-
down, you're all covered in chocolate. And just like,
Zuthar,
oh,
I think you can understand now
yeah.
why he was the one who broke your ruby.
So yes or no on the chocolate water slide? You can
couldn't tell
totally
you.
fucking slide down, dude. I'm not like stingy about my chocolate water slides.
I'm certain that would depend on the dream of the beholder.
But it isn't the dream of the beholder. Yeah, yes,
What
yes,
if-
very astute, very
Would
Yeah,
you
astute.
say,
use your box.
Zuthar?
You,
that it
sir,
isn't-
must be a studier of the arcane, are you not?
Thank you. Yes, I am. And can I use your box?
Zuthar, I believe you mean to say that it is in the eye of the beholder.
I mean, technically, that would also be correct. It is quite. I don't actually think that is Frankfurt. I think that was another. I can't quite remember where it is that I acquired that.
Well,
Was he also a good chap?
regardless,
Frankfurt was an excellent chap. A bit mercurial at times, with a propensity to daydream, to lose himself constantly.
I'll just lean over to Bill. Does he not want a fucking chocolate water slide?
But I know that he was absolutely terrified of sleeping.
makes.
And is it Frankfurt's eye that you possess?
I wouldn't mind a chocolate water slide.
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
believe so. Not that I can recall.
So you must have come into possession of this eye in a means other than, taking it from a beholder?
Yeah, it's quite possible. It could have been a gift from Frankfurt. I don't really recall.
Quite a good chap Frankfurt would have been to give you one of his eyes.
Excellent chap. Excellent chap.
Well, there's absolutely no pressure from us whatsoever. Our job here is done, and we have nothing to gain. But if you do decide that you can possibly render it safe for a collector of such oddities, then I'm sure they might be willing to negotiate. Or if you just want to say fuck it and give it over, they'll give you a mountain of gold and probably keep the RSB and the Warwetians out of your backyard for as long as you need them to.
You don't
But
particularly.
again, no pressure from us.
You also don't particularly stand to lose to meet by meeting with them.
I feel like if everyone thinks he's dead, the RSB isn't going to be a big concern right now.
Well, I'm not quite sure that I would trust anyone else sniffing about.
You could meet them here. They're actually probably nearby at the moment. At least they said they would be for when we successfully
Gold and
traverse?
such trivial curiosities.
Actually, something occurs to me right now. Did you re-enable any of your traps when you left your tower?
No.
Perhaps we should take a walk back to your tower.
A
Can we
brisk
fly
one.
there? Now that it's like not all spooky and we might die from the air, can we just like land in his front yard?
Sure.
I think that might be the best option.
Get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I'll excuse myself very quickly.
I did set some alarm spells, just at the bare minimum before I left. Not quite so. Want to
Make sure that shit doesn't break our plane.
No, nothing of the. Most of that was Venice's idea, anyways. Not really my area of expertise.
About this time, you feel the ship kicking up off the ground. And I'm flying us like right up to the entrance of the tower.
I'll
Or
be right back.
close as we can.
Okay.
I get some jerky and wrap it, and then without yelling her name or knocking on the door, I just slip it under the door.
Okay.
No interruptions.
Here's some food in case you need it.
Except you can't eat it.
Dagan, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is really strong. It is 9.
9. That's actually still better than what they rolled. You look like you get to the end of the corridor, and as you like hear some whispering, and as you're like about to turn the corner, you look back and you see the kobolds, and they've got like a little coat hanger unwound, and they're like digging up underneath the door, trying to fish the snack back out.
Stop what you're doing right now! You are going to be near
Just
this
they
door.
drop, they leave the coat hanger like just you hear like dangling off the floor, and you hear the like 4 like sets of footsteps just skittering down the hallway.
I go back to the kitchen, grab some jerky, wrap it, and slip it under their door.
Okay.
Or just minor illusions of dust cloud as they run away.
Okay.
I'm like that old man who doesn't want to, like, I hate dogs, but, like, behind everybody's back, I just, like, pet the puppy and love the puppy. And...
Every dad who never wanted a dog ever.
So what do you do with the spare jerky?
I'm going to go put it under the kobold's door. So...
Okay. Okay.
Does it get like ripped out of his fingers? But like
Yeah, as
just
it's
slide
like
it?
going under the door, it's just like you feel your hand like yank, and it's just pulled, and then you hear like the like ripping. There's like some scattering. Something falls over and shatters in the room, and then a few moments later, torn up pieces of parchment paper are pushed back under the door towards you.
I also toss 4 individual gold coins underneath the door.
Get paid to eat snack, yeah, and just like cheers.
I love you.
Wait, you hear something?
Love you, magic food stacking door.
The whole of the ship just groans loudly as I set it down, probably a little too briskly.
Okay. Everything in Harrow in your forage area kind of swings and sways just a little bit.
Get
I will sprint back down to the stateroom. We should probably go check on your tower, because there's a decent chance that the people that hired us have decided to take it upon themselves to ransack your tower now that you're no longer in it and the traps are disabled.
Everything like looks, you know, if you go, there's a little bit of prodding, but Zuthar, you know, eventually obliges. He's kind of unconcerned, I guess. He doesn't necessarily like anything of value is kept right up here, and he's just kind of like poking at his little rat temple.
Yeah, but
Let
gotta
him take
remember.
it.
I mean,
Well, perhaps you take that little beholder eye of yours and stick it in that little magical thimble you have and keep it safe, because we were promised that it was going to be an innocuous, undangerous magical artifact. And
Well,
that seems like something that we really don't want falling into the wrong hands, particularly if those hands happen to be your old friend who's now rotting in prison and could use like something like that to make a great escape.
That seems like a bit of a paranoid stretch, don't you think?
Well, we've encountered some things that may have made us a little bit paranoid in the past.
But if you are interested in, since you seem less concerned about it than you were initially, one of the pieces of our deal, what we brokered in, was the opportunity to potentially garner some information which seems to be of more value to you than gold. At least the prospect of information seemed more valuable to me at the time. Might be worth the connection, like I said earlier. But our piece is done here.
Well, I don't plan on being here for much longer, so I don't really see the point in going about fretting about all this nonsense. Just put your mind at ease. Just give me a moment. Tuthar, come along. Like, head into the tower.
all right. My next 10 gold says that something's been tampered with.
I am on the fence. Purely because they spent however many years sending dozens of adventurers to their deaths playing the long game here. It seems very out of character with the amount of control they have exercised up to this point.
I don't know. We didn't find a single dead body in there. If they sent dozens of adventurers to their deaths, you'd feel like this place would be riddled with them. I feel like that part of the story might be a little fishy as well.
I mean, there was literally animated magical brooms and such. I feel like they could have cleaned up the joint.
Oh, there's definitely skeletons in a closet somewhere.
That would have been the path downstairs.
That would have been the path
It's just
not
a
less
laundry room
traveled.
full of corpses.
Like a hastily closed closet door with
Dude,
a
there are
hand sticking
7
underneath it.
parties worth of unlooted shit somewhere in this tower.
And we only got one room of it. That when he gets back, we would like to know where all the dead bodies are.
It's a few
Alexa,
minutes.
Where are the dead bodies?
Yeah, Zuthar does return. Now, everything appears to be in order. See, I didn't take anything. And he just kind of like, I guess he's having a little bit of trouble, but like kind of like pulls the box up and kind of like holding it, and Tuthar is like assisting him. It's kind of like he's bench pressing it a little bit. Like Tuthar's basically just holding it. Take it for all I care. Maybe it'll be useful to you, or destroy it. I really don't care. But I have no concerns about making connections. Those days of mine are quite well and truly over.
Well, that's incredibly gracious of you. And we will make sure that it stays out of the wrong hands. And I apologize for our abrupt change of plans for the evening. I was just maybe a little more concerned than I needed to be.
Ounce of caution is probably warranted at this point. I'll give you that.
A point of order, so to speak. You probably have a storeroom full of dead bodies, courtesy of some of the animated constructs in your building.
It's possible.
Well, allegedly, several other groups of adventurers have attempted to locate this item.
At least 7.
Potentially 7 parties worth.
Well, there's some of these defenses that were erected not of my doing. So it's entirely possible that they're anywhere.
I was like Tuthar or Muthar or Buthar or Sunthar.
No,
Any of those guys have them?
No, my assistant, Venice, was in charge of the defense and all sorts of the rubbish.
If you don't mind, why did you guys have a falling out?
I thought everything was going smashingly until, well, I found myself inside the, this ruby of sorts.
Oh, he did that to you.
He was the one that delivered it to me, so either way, he was greatly incompetent. Which is a travesty into on itself. He was put up to it.
Sounds like a dick.
This is some of the recordings I made. It's only, I guess, assumed to be such, the students becoming the master and all this nonsense and so forth. And now, well, here we are.
Yep, there can only be 2.
Zuthar reminds me of the maid from last campaign who keeps losing his hat.
Fizbin.
Fizbin, yes.
He's definitely just like a very seasoned wizard. He's got some age, he's got some years, and he's kind of just he's very much only concerned with his goal. Anything else is kind of tertiary.
Ah, yes, Ulrin.
It just so happens that it seems to be on this level a fairly benign, motive. And he just seems to be a if nothing else, a seasoned traveler, and he's got no real allegiance or connections to anybody other than his assistant, who seems to have, taken some liberty with some things in his absence.
Here, did Maury get back to you?
I got one of those away messages. It said that he's in a very important meeting right now, and he'll respond as soon as he has a chance.
Oh, that makes sense. He's a busy dude.
Yeah.
What I do want to say is, I absolutely owe you all a complete debt of gratitude. And if there's anything else that you require of me, I would be, if I'm not, busy. I'd be more than happy to assist in any way or impart any knowledge as I can.
I'm gonna get on all fours, hands and knees.
You make me either a weapon or armor that's cooler than that guy's,
and I'll point at Bill's.
That's kind of a tall order. Maybe send me some sketches.
I'm gonna pull out a grease pen and just start drawing on the ground.
I overhear the conversation and I start moving quickly, just so he has a hard time sketching.
We're incredibly grateful for your hospitality, and we apologize for intruding, but we're very glad that we could have been of some sort of assistance.
Well, for everything that it's worth, despite the damage that you may have inadvertently caused, if you hadn't, this is no telling how long I might have wasted away inside that ruby while Toothar here set about napping.
You had mentioned earlier that you have a window of time to correct something, it sounds like. What is the ramification if you're not successful?
Oh yeah, like 2.5 years.
I have not considered the possibility that even comes to pass.
What if it does?
And I would prefer to keep it that way, thank you.
Fair enough. I imagine that, assuming we are successful in our current endeavors, we would potentially be available to aid you in yours if you so needed.
Well, if I... it seems that you're capable individuals that might be useful to keep you around in case I need an errand run.
Okay, super random
You know
question.
how to get in touch with us.
Easily. It's a trivial matter for the studied wizard such as myself.
Hey, lads, when you get a chance, you may want to pass Toothar another brochure.
Obi, what flavor Ben & Jerry's
I've
is
got
that?
all of your faces fresh in my noggin. Those won't be necessary.
Super random question. Do you happen to have like 5,000 platinum on you? Because that's what we were told we were gonna get for this. Like, if you don't, it's totally cool. We'll take an IOU. But
No, it's fine. We're happy to be of assistance. As kind of like kick Lance while he's down on the ground.
Unfortunately, I do not.
Oh. Do you have like really old coins? Even if they're like not super special? We've had a couple of really old coins and they're like way more than they should be.
And he just kind of stares at him incredulously.
I apologize. Some of your traps did a number on our friend here. And he is
Yeah,
probably
Bill's kind of fucked up.
The most valuable thing of all that I possess is knowledge.
Oh, we'll take that too.
In due time, lad, in due time.
Like, grab me
Excellent
like
chat.
a spell scroll so I can like learn something cool. Oh, can you like make people like explode from like inside? I'll totally do that.
Lads, shouldn't you be focusing on back on your drawing there?
I can multitask.
You missed the spot, so clearly you can't. Kind of like smudge a bit of the line he's working on with my foot.
like how Lance is just drawing in crayon on the
The kobolds would be proud.
Obi, what flavor
That's
is
where the
that?
kobolds got it from.
Studious teacher.
You thought it was nature all along, but it was really nature. Well, if you excuse me, the evening is getting on. I do have some things to prepare for our journey tomorrow. If you make your way inside the tower and up to my personal chambers, when you're ready, then we can depart.
I believe one of our companions is deep in some mechanical-based work. I believe the day after tomorrow would be our best
Well,
week to leave.
Take your time. Will there be dinner here tomorrow as well? I don't mean to overstep any social graces, but it was delicious. And I
Oh yeah,
did
totally.
enjoy having some company that talked back for once.
Feel free to reach out to Lance
Like,
about any meal
Gives like a
plan.
little like sidelong look at Toothar.
I can definitely talk back, and I can definitely make dinner.
Then it's settled.
He's big on brunch, so if
we-
you come around midday, there will probably be brunch.
Would you be okay with a slight field trip. I believe we have an errand to run back at Oberlin, which is only a day's flight away, and then we can drop you off back here when we're done.
Do you have a teleportation circle inscribed upon your ship that I may have? Oh, well, that complicates things.
Can you do one?
If I am given the requisite time and materials, this is rather expensive.
How much time you need?
I do have...
About a year.
I do know of one at the location where we're going, but we would not be able to bring the ship with us, and part of the reasoning is that we would like to get the ship back to Oberlin before we depart for Avernus.
Do you have a teleportation circle in your tower?
Does he need a year to make a permanent one, or can he just make a regular teleportation?
Oh, he totally thought you were talking about a permanent one.
Okay.
No, he doesn't need a circle to teleport from our ship to somewhere else, but in order to make like the receiving end of the thing, you need a year.
Now that is an upgrade you guys should consider.
Why do we need to go back to Oberlin?
Well, it's not like we're gonna leave our ship out in the middle.
Drop our shit off.
Yeah. Hera's not here. Why am I trying to explain myself to her?
Hera said quietly to herself.
No.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Out of character, I want to put this guy in touch with Morrison, and I feel like it's going to be much easier if we bring him to Morrison than the other way around.
If he can get us back to his tower to our, however we're going to hell, then I mean that seems pretty reasonable.
If we brought you to our buddy,
if you have a teleportation circle at your tower, would it be incredibly inconvenient to perhaps share some knowledge? I know of several circles spread throughout the world, and I would love to perhaps trade access to those with you for the ability to come to your tower if the need ever arises.
I believe that there have been some exchanges made on good faith thus far. I'll take a risk. What's the worst that happens? I end up in a ruby for another 100 years?
That's the way to look at it.
So I will give him the Wexel, Oberlin. I'm assuming he probably already has those two, but who knows? Maybe they weren't around by the time.
So those the Wexel and Oberlin ones are technically like part of
those are like brand new, aren't they?
Newer. But they're part of the Athenaeum, which is kind of like a separate thing, not the yeah, it's a little bit different. Are these just freely available to anybody to use these days?
There might be a small fee when you get there. I haven't used those two yet. But I also have these, and I will show him the runes for the Lich Gates. And I will give him Evergarden, Hazel Stand, and the big old tree.
No, I'm not familiar with these three. Runic markings predate anything that I've ever. Where did you find such a thing? Where do these even go?
Oh, the tree one's super cool.
Map. Need the map. I'm totally blanking on the name of the place, Kyle. What's the country to the west?
Jorventera.
Jorventera. I will briefly try to explain to him about Jorventera and the three, like the destination of those 3 lich gates.
He scribbles them down into his notebook. Not necessarily certain that visitors would be welcome in such these parts. Well, at least beyond mountains, I've heard stories of the people that live there. I've heard about.
They are
Quite
much more hospitable
reclusive.
than anything you've heard. I promise you. Particularly to people that have your disposition towards the Warwetian government.
It's still unwelcome to show up on someone's doorstep without an invitation.
As a representative, I can promise you that you will be well received, and I will hand him my badge that we got from the Dwarven
The little holographic symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that was mighty generous of you. I graciously accept these. I hope to, maybe never need them, but I guess it doesn't hurt to be prepared.
Plus, you never know what kind of minor adventure you could find yourself in a strange new place.
You know, ironically, I have been all over the plains and traveled hither and to. And it's still astonishing the amount of places I haven't been here.
It's funny how that works, isn't it? Anyways, it is getting late, and I should go check on.
I will say this. Make a persuasion check, to convince him to come on your field trip.
9.
Could I at least have a night's rest before I attempt any sort of field trips?
Of course. By all means.
There are maybe some supplies I could see myself grabbing, if the opportunity presented itself.
I would be very surprised if it didn't, where we're going.
In the morning, then.
It gives you a chance to have more cuisine that's not cheese-based.
Don't tell your friend. I appreciate the sentiment, and I did not mean to come across as rude.
Lance has a tendency to go overboard.
I'm
Or
falling
no
off
board
the
at
ship
all.
once.
It is an unfortunate side effect when you don't have first-hand experience about things to unconsciously maybe have a bias.
Well, if there's one thing that we can say about Lance is that he doesn't half-ass anything.
The sentiment is appreciated nonetheless.
Well, I will bid you adieu here. You're more than welcome to stay with us on the ship if you would like the company. Or we will be here whenever you are rested and ready to depart in the morning.
I will confine myself to my own quarters this evening, and then I will tell your mechanical automaton contraption upon my arrival tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
One last question, if you know offhand before you go. We found a book written by, and I'm sure you've accrued many things in your time, but there was a book written by a party with the last name of Ringo. Do you happen to know where you found that? And if you don't offhand, maybe just something to peruse as you wind down for the night. I am really curious.
Actually, quite an interesting story how that came to be in my possession. It is- but the evening is getting long. It is a story for another time.
Fair enough.
I will walk back downstairs and go to the room at Harrow's workshop.
Okay.
Just like knock softly.
As he's kind of leaving. Suffice to say, it was a similar mechanical contraption, such to that of yours. Went by the referred to himself the designation of D1X3, I believe.
First off, her name was Dicey.
I do believe this was a gentleman.
That would explain a lot. But Miss Normus, as she was oftentimes referred to.
I completely forgot about that.
I guess I can't be positive of what old Ringo was up to in his township after we parted ways. But I guess good for him if he managed to replicate Daisy in the Underdark. Dixie, fuck.
Lance is rubbing off on you.
I just like quietly knock on the door to the workshop.
There is no response.
Harrow was lost.
Harrow, I know you can hear me. I'm gonna.
I said.
I
No.
found the other nipple. I'll leave it right here. And I'll slide the eye of the beholder under the door.
Beauty.
Oh my goodness.
Dear God. Harold will run over there when it's safe to do so and like
open up this chest, and it is like, it looks like, you know, like you rummage through a drawer of like your parents' shit that they've had because like you were a baby.
It's
and
the
then,
junk drawer.
And then like, but like in that drawer or like baby things, you find like the shriveled up umbilical piece that fell off.
Why did I know that?
It kind of looks like that. It's like this shriveled, twisted piece of flesh with like what looks to be a knot at the end, but you can just see like this sunken yellow, discolored eye, like just shriveled and wrinkly, bloodshot, like and like little bit of black like stains of ichor like on the base of this severed eye stalk in this like black velvet case.
Kyle, just promise us that you're not going to save that piece of the umbilical cord for your baby book.
No.
Please, dear God in
He's
heaven.
gonna eat it.
That's the placenta, and also no.
Just do it raw. Do it live. Baby placenta bite.
Wait, is that a burrito?
There is no starch in a placenta.
No,
but it would be a calzone.
That's obviously toast.
Are you eating baby placenta or baby and placenta? Because there's a pause.
See what strikes you in the moment.
And now that we're kicked off of Twitch again.
Yeah. Well, as Fat Bastard would say, I want my baby back ribs. Chili's baby back ribs. Barbecue sauce.
Ugh.
I'm confused.
Harrow,
Are you still on the baby, or are you eating it ribs?
I think it's the eating of the placenta is what's grossing
Yeah,
me
it's
out.
fucking gross.
Look,
I don't know
it's
how people do that.
I don't see how it's not vegan. Never mind. You know what? Never mind.
Is
Okay.
cannibalism vegan?
The placenta's not a human.
It's from a human.
This is a debate for another time.
Just
Next
like
week's
eggs
debate.
are from a chicken.
It's
Oh
not
my
a
God.
pig.
She didn't say
Anywho,
she's vegetarian.
Gary leaves a small,
I'm-
slender wooden box of like of a shriveled eye stalk of unknown origin.
Absolutely confused, not taking the time to ask or anything, just like puts it on the work table out of reach, like somewhere in a safe spot. Like, table that, come back to it when I've got time. Like, mm-mm.
Okay. Anything anybody else would like to do before the evening concludes?
Oh, I would attune to my armor before I fall asleep.
Okay.
I just want to go to sleep because I'm exhausted.
Back in hey, back in the room before like lights out. I want to kind of study that jar to see if there's a way that I, knowing what it is, if I could safely transfer a portion of it to another jar so that it still allow Ringo the opportunity to use it as he sees fit.
You mean Gary?
Yes, fuck my life.
There's too much crossover.
Yeah, I can't anymore. The fourth wall is gone.
The thing about this jar is it's sealed very rudimentally. Beyond either tossing it or just opening it, there's not really a good way that you could probably try to siphon some off or reserve some. It's probably going to be, you know, like as far as you're concerned, it's going to end up being like a one-time use only.
You know what it is?
Antonius does.
Mm-hmm.
Am I forgetting something here, or is this
No.
like?
No.
Okay. I was like, what did Ringo make?
None of us know except for Antonius.
Ringo.
This is
No, it's not Ringo either. Actually,
Oh shit.
I would say if anybody like from that was gonna know what it was, I think I'd hedge my bet on Siggy. That'd be fair, you think?
that's a clue.
Well, I will go to bed,
Yep.
cuddled up next to the dragon staff.
Yeah, Vice grips a
Uh,
license to steal it.
The ship lists a little bit suddenly as Gary turns into a dragon.
At that point, Harrow's just pissed. Like, I said, keep it steady.
Harrow, will you go ahead and make 2 Constitution saves for me, please?
Oh my. Let's see what I got. Me and my dice of doom. Alright. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ones are great. That's a 17 on the first one.
Okay.
And an 11 on the second.
Okay. So you're gonna take 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay. That's fair.
Morning rolls around. The door to Harrow's forge area is still locked and sealed, barricaded at some point during the evening.
Don't trust anyone. I heard the kobolds and like the coat hanger.
It's definitely like there were a couple attempts at the kobolds to gain entry over the evening.
Just like imagine like Harrow like looking at everything of like I've got 5 seconds, just like running and like shoving something and like running back like shoving something.
Like drip,
Exhausted.
like go push a chair in front of the door. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well.
Will we all get our long rest?
You all get your long rest, minus Harrow.
Sweet.
Okay. What would you guys like to do now?
We'll hang tight and wait for Zuthar. And
I mean, it's pretty early. There is an announcement. Who would not have a do not disturb?
I would not.
I wouldn't
set
either.
for what's it for
The Rocky
for
Talkies.
no
Cogsworth.
for Cogsworth. Yeah, the let me sleep, the snooze button.
I have no D&D on my door.
I mean,
Okay.
I think in this case, Levi probably would.
But that's because you can't be out during the sun.
He's exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Takes us to
Pretty early. It's about first light, and there is an announcement from Cogsworth that Zuthar has returned.
I will go greet him and Tuthar.
Okay.
I'm going to pull on my boxers and walk to the front of the door.
Okay. As you open the door, Cogsworth is good morning, sir. I have made you coffee.
Oh, fuck, that's awesome, man. Give me like 2 eggs.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Pocket eggs.
How do you want them cooked, sir?
Over easy.
Coming right up. I've set a place for you at the table already.
You're fucking awesome, Cogsworth.
And walk down the hall sipping my coffee.
I will walk Zuthar into the stateroom and offer him breakfast.
Okay. There is, as soon as you enter, Cogsworth kind of, may I offer you anything, masters?
I wait for Zuthar.
Well, something smells. I will tea, please.
I'll take 4 eggs over easy on a bed of hash browns covered in hot sauce.
And a Bloody Mary, too, correct, sir?
Obviously. In fact, I'm a little irritated.
Extra shot this morning, sir. It's like,
He made up for it by adding the extra shot.
The Duke's people definitely knew when
And
they
I'll take
programmed
that
this
on the
one.
bridge, please.
Your bath is drawn, sir.
Yeah, don't have time this morning, but I appreciate it. I will leave Zuthar with Lance, and I will head up to the bridge and then announce to the crew that we're heading back to Overland and try to carefully this time, so I don't wreck any more of Harrow's machinations, take off and start heading in that direction.
Okay. So by the time you guys arrive back to Oberland, Tuthar is holding Zuthar, like the wind whipping his whiskers and bristling his fur. He's just kind of like, not Titanic style, get that out of your mind, but like,
Come on.
like
It's
holding
Titanic
him.
style.
The robe is Tuthar's drawing him.
You're the king of the
Uh,
hamster wheel.
Fantastic.
No, but like Zuthar is just taking in the sights. Like, uh,
Did
quite.
they even have flying ships in his day?
They did. There's been flying ships for some time, but not to the speed that this ship is capable, or modern ships are capable of. And also just the amount of civilization that has been erected in these last
Well, like
100
100 years is a shit ton. Like Wright brothers
Yeah.
were like what 1912, and look
Yeah.
what we have now. Like that's
Yeah.
a fucking big difference.
Yeah, exactly. So, like it's almost like that same level of explosion of population and just everything, like, and the, the industry that has happened. So you can see just like, Zuthar and Tuthar kind of like standing there, like off to the port side of the ship. Just like watching as the landscape goes by, you can see like the small little squares of like plotted farmland, the belching black towers of smoke from various, buildings of industry, the swarms of small little ships and automatons and various steam-powered craft vehicles and personas, I guess, milling about, just belching ash into the sky as you trundle past. And to Zuthar, like, seeing this, like, it's, quite remarkable. To which he comments on it, that, this is much more than anything he had ever seen before. I mean, there is some comments about Warwit and his, his inventions that seem to have, produced such a society now that it is past.
Yeah, that's like a long ass time. Like Kitty Hawk to landing on the moon was 53 years, and he's 97. That's a huge fucking time difference.
And was Warwick the same name of the guy that Siggy gave that money to? I'm trying to remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll actually kind of.
Titties actually should remember that.
Yeah, I do. We talked about that when I first, because I think there was a statue of him, if I remember right, when I first went through the
There
town.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, little gnome figure.
Yeah.
Holding his wrench and like gears in the other hand. You do make it back to Oberland. It's probably about mid to late evening by that point, and would be about this time, Harrow, that you do finish completion. If I could get one more tinker check from you.
She's like, no, you may not.
I will ask Gary to come down and see if he can help.
I'll pass the helm over to the crew and run down.
Well, they're doing that. I'll mention
So, this is a little bit different. This isn't a pass or a fail necessarily. So, and this is you doing your work over the past, 24 hours, pretty much locked inside a room, unaided. If there is at this point, there's probably no assistance that could be given that would make any meaningful impact. So, just you, please.
It's gonna be a 20.
A 20. Okay.
Because it's with exhaustion, it's disadvantage, correct?
When would the exhaustion
on ability checks?
On ability checks, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be a disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 20.
Okay. That's fine. So, everything seems to come together. You call for Gary. You unbarricade the door and unlock it, I assume, and let Gary enter.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't ask you, and this would be up to you guys. It's a small detail, but it is one of your choosing. It was not discussed as to which color these dragon stones are that you recovered. So, if there is a specific color that you wish these stones to be, it's a kind of purely cosmetic choice that is entirely up to both Gary and Bill.
Ruby.
Okay, red.
No,
Like a
what
deep
color is my
brunette
armor?
red.
Your armor is just like steel, silver, with like blackened steel like calligraphy.
No, then I go for like a clear.
Clear,
Or
okay.
if that's not possible.
Sure. It's a window into your heart almost.
Mhm.
as you wear your armor.
Which is
I mean,
kind of fitting.
I like it. So, Gary, as you walk into Harrow's workshop, yes, that is the word. On her workshop, there's tools. It smells acrid. It smells of sweat, and like heavily of chemical in here. There is this this large circular piece of armor, this shield that has been reconstructed. Sitting in the center is that ruby that has been inlaid into it, kind of like dead center of that shield. There is like the shield itself is kind of like a blackened steel or like a grayed steel, but where the shield has been reformed because of the primordial the primordial fucks
There'll be a lot of that soon.
that have been given, it is like iridescent veins that seem to spider web over the cracks where these seams and joints of these pieces of shield have been refitted. So as it kind of turns and moves with the light, the colors shift and shimmer like that of a rainbow.
Similar thing with Bill's that I would like to do with Gary's is one, there is a pair of turtle titties on the front.
A busty turtle woman has been engraved onto the shield.
Yes.
Okay.
Doing like the pinup move of like pulling the shell down.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty. It's tasteful. It's tasteful.
But like in addition, underneath it, like we don't know Gary's story, but Harrow is going to write the story from her perspective.
Okay.
And so all of the deeds, and kind of going back to her and Antinius's conversation of who Gary is.
Okay.
Kind of what she hopes he'll become. Like etched, like all the deeds that she's seen him do.
Whereas Bill's was more of remembrance. This is a message of hope.
Ooh.
Okay. So for the moment, because of how this shield has come together, you can feel like once the Dragonstone is inset into this piece, it is like leeching that power, so to speak, like drawing off of it, rebinding, reconnecting that interconnecting web of magical energies. After your next long rest, all of the abilities of the shield will be made present. It is still kind of going through its power-up procedure, if you will, because of its rebinding. However, Gary, this shield is called Blank Notes.
Ooh, I like it.
Let me find it.
Good name for a shield.
Okay, this one's kind of cool. This shield is called Bastion. This shield, like the armor, is also +3.
Jesus.
You can use missile reflection as a reaction. So you can, basically deflect, or missile deflection as a reaction. It has the thrown and returning property with a range of 60 feet.
Okay, Captain America.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It can be used as a spell focus. It is technically a divine weapon. Was wielded by a paladin before. You can also channel divinity through the shield. The shield becomes your point of cast through for your channel divinity as part of an attack. The shield does 2d10 plus your spellcasting modifier, force damage on a hit. And the best thing about it is, because it's empowered by a dragon stone, it can be empowered once per day to transfer all falling damage that would be taken to a target instead, up to a maximum of 10d6.
Is there a range on that?
You have to hit the target. It's basically a slam attack.
So, if I drop onto somebody, I can transfer... Sorry, say that again?
Superhero landing.
Yeah, so any damage that you would take up to a maximum of 10d6 is transferred to a target instead.
Falling damage.
So, like, if you flew up in the air and then just dropped 60
So
feet.
it's kind of like one of those things where maybe a dragon rider would jump off of their dragon, plummet to the ground, and slam a target with their shield, transferring all of that damage onto their target instead and not onto themselves.
Damn.
Nope.
I am so jelly.
That is dope.
Levi can just dimension door you up there, turn into a bat.
Remember that
Toss
time
me.
that Lance always gets hand-me-downs?
You're just counting on it. But Harrow personalized these. That would be a weird hand-me-down.
Well, I'm gonna have a hand-me-down for somebody. Because... oh no. I'm only attuned to 2 things. Nope, never mind. Sorry, Lance. That is fucking dope.
No, it's Bastion.
I think he's renamed it to Dope.
The shield of dope.
Well, I'm gonna spend the rest of the day in the hot tub playing with the turtle shield.
You gotta give it a little bit of time. It needs to rest and recharge.
Yeah. The primordial flux needs to set, and so you've got another day. So until your next long rest, you will not be able to use any of these abilities. It is just a standard shield at the moment.
Don't
So
get it
+3?
in the water.
No, not at the moment. It's just a shield. It's just a really fancy looking shield, but until like the magics take hold, you have a day. Basically before that happens. Could have been worse. Harrow could have rolled really low, and then that would have set that timetable potentially much higher.
Unlike the arm grip, like Harrow would have put like Because it's gold coins for your goddess, right?
She got us a luck, so anything like gambling related.
Yeah, so like Hera would have done like a bunch of different like coins, dice, like all of that, like where you hold on to it.
Gary's theme song is officially the Ace of Spades now.
Yeah.
Like the hand wrap on the inside is just like a wrap of dice.
And then like Hera will show you everything, like etch this here and there's that there and a bunch of different editions, so it's yours. And
This is fucking awesome. I'll just pick Hera up and give her a big hug.
Now Gary's sitting there like, staff, shield, shield.
Both.
Yes.
Why not both?
And then he's like, just like, I can combo myself.
you could turn into the dragon, do the pew pew, and then drop out of dragon and slam attack.
Quite literally, drop out of dragon.
Hey, yo.
Well, I will go find Lance and give him the Ring of Spellstoring.
Aww.
Take it.
I know that it's not as cool as like the armor or the shield or anything, and I promise we'll find you something really dope soon. But for now, assuming you can still attune to this, I think you should hang on to it.
Oh yeah, I could totally use that. Can you like throw in some healing spells and shit in there?
Oh yeah, what do you want?
Or maybe I'll just throw in a bunch of shields. And then I can actually use my spell slots for shit.
I feel like that might be the best option. I could throw in like something really cool, because I'm pretty sure there's no like limit on what level. It's just 5 levels worth of stuff.
So it's maximum of 5
put,
levels.
like,
however you want to
I could-
arrange it.
Yeah, I could throw like a flame strike or something in there. If you want a 5th
What
level
about
spell.
fireball?
I could do a 3rd level fireball, or
What's
or
a
even
flame
like a 5th
strike
level
do?
fireball. Flame strike's just like it's kind of like fireball. It's a 60-foot tall, 10-foot radius cylinder that explodes for 8d6 worth of damage, split between radiant and fire.
Yeah, let's do it.
46 radiant, 46 fire.
Lance is about to fucking char himself.
Or I could just do a level 5 fireball, which is more damage.
I want to say that, but I feel like Lance will use it at the most inopportune time.
I'm giving Lance a level 5 fireball.
Alright, perfect.
Okay.
As a melee character, I'm sure that won't backfire.
So now Lance can wear the Ring of Spell Storing on his main finger, so now he can do finger gun fireball.
Or a finger cannon.
He's gonna do it spirit cannon style, like
He has to put it on his
Yu Yu
thumb so
Hakusho.
that he cocks it. And then
It's hammer time.
Hera's gonna just, I don't, like, wipe the sweat off, like, take a quick bath, and then just face plant.
Just out. Okay.
Like, try and get, like, a snack, and then just falls asleep with, like, the jerky in her mouth. Just like,
The kobold's peeking into the room.
Land back at the Duke's palace.
yeah.
Okay. Easy enough.
Do we have Zulthar with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came with us, right?
Yeah. He's spent a lot of the afternoon commenting on just how incredible things appear to be.
We will give him a short tour of the city on the way to Morrison's.
Like ducks as one of the trolleys, like, you know, like you watch him kind of like dive off to the side as one of the trolleys just like comes blazing down the street and then on the rail, like up overhead, over a bunch of people's heads, and everyone else just like nonchalant. There are a few people that like look in his direction, tourist.
I will tell one of the attendees as we land, like one of the port. Is that what you call it?
Port
Airship? Docking station?
The dock.
The dock?
A portly.
One of the dock
Portly?
attendees.
A porter or a dockhand.
I don't know if it's port, because port seems like
Probably just call
water.
it an airport.
Airport?
It's an airport.
Correct, that makes sense. I will tell one of the airport attendees to send a runner into Maury's place. Tell him that we're
My
coming
mouth
over.
is in fact a taco port.
The one that I was the most confused on is the one that makes the most sense. Good job, Mike.
You want to like send a message to Morrison?
Yeah, just tell him that we're on our way.
Brunch?
Okay.
Question mark.
I'll tip him like 2 gold.
They have these really handy contraptions, which are basically like little call boosts
Nope.
that you can just pick up and
Send in somebody to run over and tell him.
Okay, you want the personal touch.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
It's like a handwritten note in the age of.
Well, only the best for best friends.
You find somebody's from Kiki's delivery service to be your courier.
Perfect. Love it. It's like the Instacart. Of
The winged
fucking-
kobold accepts your offer, immediately gets killed by Bill.
You mean Harrow.
Dragon!
Harrow double taps it.
She just shoots the foot off. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
we're gonna
we'll
live that down.
make our way through the city, stopping whenever Zuthar sees something intriguing or interesting, and like not rushing him or anything. Just kind of.
Oh, can we get him a tiny suit at the tailors that we went to?
He would probably be very indignant about his wardrobe should you suggest it. These are the robes worn by all of the Majocracy. What's wrong with my attire?
Dude, it's been like 100 years.
Absolutely no
Don't you want to
right
like
to stay
upgrade
in
yourself?
robe.
Just fixes his little wizard's hat. Just his little spectacles that sit on the
His
tip of
tiny
his,
little
his
mouse
little rat
spectacles?
nose. Yeah.
Harrow would have like woken up and like gone with them, but like convinced Lance of like, can you like keep me on your shoulders and maybe I can nap and just carry me.
Oh yeah.
I'll
Little
just pick her up
backpack.
like baby style and just like.
Baby,
no, like
you baby
backpack.
Bjorn, Harrow.
I'll take
The
my
little tactical Harrow backpack.
uh,
I just like it's like the little mini me like sketch where he's on the little backpack, but I just imagine that he's got like pistols at the ready, just like sitting there.
Normally Harrow would be so pissed, but she's just like, I'm too tired.
You know,
This is
a
fine."
6 foot something, like very muscular half orc trundling down the street with a baby Bjorn Harrow stuck in it with her pistols at the ready, legs kicking.
What a missed
Little
opportunity.
big streets.
A missed opportunity for the whole campaign now.
Yup.
uh,
I am crying. Literally laughing to like
With our powers combined, we make Lero.
oh god. Whew. That was impressive.
this is it. That's what's happening.
Where did you put it?
Here be dragons.
Yup.
it's tactical though.
I approve this.
Oh man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There's. It's also funny because Zuthar's traveling around as Tuthar, like the old wizened wizard figure that he strikes in his elaborate robes with the little pocket that sits on front, and Zuthar like poking out of the front of it when his matching robes and hat and spectacles.
So we're sames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here I thought he would just, illusion himself.
For anything, like Zuthar seems to be rather unconcerned with his appearance.
That's been established so clearly by now.
yeah, just like
I
Spent
approve.
half the session last session asking, why
know-
are you a rat?
yeah. I mean, I guess it's not uncommon to see some sort of arcane user and they're familiar. So it's not really. I mean, he is dressed a little abnormally. It's a little,
Roles are reversed.
ancient. But yeah, as far as anybody else is concerned, like, oh, it's just somebody traveling with their pet rat. And it seems to be dressed rather, gaily. But it's not like, anything like really untoward. I mean, there are so many fashions and designs from different
Out of
cultures
nowhere.
being represented just all over the place that it's kind of this hodgepodge mismatched, and it's not really. There's not a whole lot of attention being drawn.
Out of nowhere, Ralph lands on Lance's shoulder and looks at Harrow like, what the fuck? You never carry me.
Yeah. Ralph's jealous of the baby Bjorn.
I mentally tell him, we'll get it fixed for your wings. Don't worry.
Okay. You guys make your way to Morrison's?
Mhm.
Is that where you were headed? Okay.
Yep.
Morrison cheerfully. He's looking a little bit tired this evening, but still his happy, cheerful self.
Boy, what's up, man?
Stock in her bag.
Say what now?
Hera would have put the stock in her bag too.
Okay. Well, welcome, my friends. I was not expecting you.
Did that
So
fucking runner
good.
not tell you? I paid him 2 gold.
He did, but I was trying to act surprised, to be excited.
Oh, do it again.
All right, outside.
Alright, everybody get out.
It's too
Ah.
early.
Friends, welcome. I heard of your arrival in town. Welcome.
Oh, it's such a surprise to meet you here.
So, how are things? I was not expecting you back so soon, and all of you looking in one piece, as it would seem.
Oh,
We brought a new friend with us.
yeah, check out Zebop.
Morrison, may I present to you Zuthar Hansulis, Zuthar, our friend Morrison.
So you mean to tell me that there was a wizard inside this tower this whole time?
Yeah, but he's not
My
the dude.
apologies. Where
He's
are
the-
my manners? Zuthar, and my name is Morrison.
I will
Pleasure to
gesture
meet you.
to the pocket as
Yeah.
I'm making the introduction.
Yeah,
He's not
you
the
watch.
dude.
Ooh, well, I'm gonna roll for that. That's actually pretty good. Performance check from Morrison as he kind of like does a little
Swoops his
flare with
hand
his
lower.
hand and redirects. Yeah, and then shakes the little rat's paw that's offered from the pocket of Tuthar. And pleasure to meet you, sir. This is associates of mine speak quite highly of you. You're going to make me blush. You really should keep these things to yourself.
In fact, that that instead of like a little bit of an undertone that's like stop.
yeah,
It's
like
no,
please,
really.
please keep going, but please. Well, this is fantastic news, I must say. So, what can I do for you?
Well, we were
How's
just
that to
stopping
have?
back in town to drop off the ship before we head out on our next little adventure. And we thought it might be prudent to introduce you to.
Did
In
you find what you were looking for?
Oh, Zulu's totally
We
good at
instead
planar
found
travel.
the owner of the tower. And as what we were looking for did not belong to us, we thought it prudent to perhaps put all of our friends in touch with each other so that an arrangement may be made.
Is it dangerous? The
tower?
thing. No, the item, the thing that you all were looking for. Is it as dangerous as I thought it might be?
Oh,
It
fuck
is
if we know.
something that I would prefer remain right where it is.
Right then. I will consider it out of mind, if you will.
Much appreciated.
Out of sight, if you will.
But our new friend here is back from a little vacation and may need to stock up on whatever mages use to cast stuff
Oh,
or any other necessities.
plenty of accoutrements that you might find yourself in need of, Zuthar. Please, peruse. Thank you. Let you know if I inquire about any other things that I might be needing. I was, however, instructed to meet your acquaintance in the prospects that they seem to think that only old fool needs friends.
We never said that, but it's
It
true.
was implied, and the meaning was taken. It's fine.
Oh, I totally think you need friends.
I wasn't born yesterday.
I mean, you kind of were.
Today?
Hatched more, so.
Let's just say that
Everyone
he's been
needs
gone for a while
connections.
and all of his friends are no longer around.
I don't mean to be presumptuous, but it's, I can't help but notice your, current, predicament. Are you... I guess I don't know how to say this without being too forward. Were you always this way? I'm quite intrigued.
Lance is just like behind Toothard, like, no, we've been down this road.
I know, as you can see, and then it just kind of like spawns into like Zuthar just kind of like going off into the tirade, delving into his stories, and Lance just like, oh no, but the damage has already been done. It's a good 30 minutes for the conversation to finally conclude, where Zuthar feels like he's provided enough information to, that everyone should be on a level of understanding at this point.
Or, do you know of a dude named Veal? That was his apprentice that totally fucked him.
Venice.
I know a lovely spot where they serve veal.
That's what I said.
Apprentice.
Or he said it's a dude's name.
Venice.
Venice. I do remember hearing about a cautionary tale for my studies, if nothing else. Not necessarily on the dangers of necromancy, as it were, but to be such a sleazeball.
Sounds like the fucker.
Anyways, now that we have aired some history, I feel us all much closer than we were before.
Morrison is a salesman.
Probably by this evening, the things that you requested be done, should be finished.
Oh shit, you got my
As you
boots?
No, unfortunately, I've been so busy. The
God
shop,
damn
and
it,
the
Maury.
expansion.
Don't get a guy's hopes up like that.
I'm just kidding, my friend.
Oh shit!
Like, sets it up.
Lights
So
off.
Kyle, when do you start your therapy for your DID?
Anyways, enjoy. Don't get in too much trouble, airspace and such things. Don't. I won't ask, and please don't tell.
Oh, I'll tell you.
No, but as to the other things, your travel plans are well underway.
Did you come across the tertiary item that you needed, or?
I was hoping that, since you all have arrived, that maybe you found something that would aid in not having you
Zuthar
being
was
obliterated.
more than generous in helping us as well. And I will take out the box and flip it open for Morrison. It has the 2 crystals in it.
It kind of like does a little finger dance and picks one up very gingerly, and it's quite exquisite specimen. I've not nothing ever so large. It's quite impressive.
That's what they all tell me.
One.
Zuthar, before we made your acquaintance, we had reached out to Morrison in the hopes that he might be able to assist us in getting to Avernus. So I believe what he's referring to is our previously arranged travel plans.
Oh.
How is that gonna work now?
Well,
please, you continue.
I was just going to say that this may not be the last time that we have to get to or from Avernus, and having a scroll in our back pockets would certainly come in handy. If we had to, say, come back here to not die, and then return at a later date.
Well, should aid you in traversing to the lower planes. There is give and a take, not on transport as I have found with these things, and generally to traverse to the lower planes. It's a trading of places, if you will, that unfortunately takes effect. However, when I was in Modius, and I acquired this material here, it does attempt to negate some of the downsides of traversal to lesser areas, as others would refer to this as.
Have you been to the Abyss?
Briefly. It was a harrowing experience.
He regaled the tale of us over dinner while you were cooped up in your workshop.
Yes,
Fair.
I do believe I was cut off during this conversation, but I was trying to explain that while I was there in Avernus, I was quite inhospitable, both to my psyche and to my person. Not generally because individuals approaching me left, right, and center, attempting me to sign this, that, and the other, in exchange for various goods, services, and of course my soul. If you do intend to follow through on this course of action, I would
I think the trick is to just not make eye contact and keep walking.
It can be rather persuasive, unfortunately. But I would say that well, my brief tenure in these parts, I don't recall seeing other humanoids. They're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, we have some friends that we're going to go see. They expect us, so.
You keep saying that like it should mean something to me, but that's fine. I don't necessarily care to know the details other than it's your adventure. Do what you wish.
Let's just say that some of my old friends are currently acting as freedom fighters, trying to rid Avernus of some demons that have showed up and think they own the place. So...
That seems rather counterintuitive to...
I know, right?
This state of being, that Avernus and the relationship between the Abyss.
Yeah, except when the last ruler of Hell died, somebody else stepped in and they were like totally cool to demons and just let them all in.
Is that the thing? That's preposterous.
I know. Trust me, I'm not a big fan of it either.
It's like Morrison's just over there, just kind of like, whistling, pretending to be interested in anything else. Zuthar, really, whatever it is that you, that I offer my services, and if you've already arranged that, I'm not necessarily sure what the point of this field trip was. No offense, Morris. Taken as many. It's fine. Don't worry.
Well,
about it.
it's twofold. Number one, we don't often meet super badass wizard rats, and I kind of wanted to show you off. And two, if it's not a huge
circus
imposition,
animal.
no, but you are a very cool, nice, interesting person, and you do need friends.
Well, accept that compliment.
And two, if it's not a huge imposition, if we could hang on to the scroll that Morrison made for us, and have you send us this time, then, in case of an emergency, we'll be able to get back down there in the future.
Well, until I was thinking you took me for a fool. I would be happy to.
Thank you very much. We are once again in your debt.
Probably even. But who's counting?
Everybody.
Or just looks at Antonius.
So many people get hung up on transactional relationships and this, that, and the other. Plahooey with the whole sort of it. Morrison's just... Well, to be fair, I do run a shop. Do have to make some sort of sales. That is an argument for another time.
Speaking of which, how much do I owe you for Lance's boots?
Test.
We heard
the
you.
test.
Make a persuasion check, Gary.
I got cake.
Nice.
I was about to say that's a Big Mac, and then it registered.
Natural 20 for a 24.
Well, since all of you are such good friends, such astounding customers, you come back time and time again to Morrison. I appreciate you supporting local business. So, here, you take these. He gives you, maybe you hand some brochures out for me and we call it even.
We've been handing brochures out for you.
Dude, we tell everybody about
I
you.
can't afford to have you go out of business while we're gone. What do I owe you for the boots?
Oh, wait. I have an idea. Morrison, check this out.
And I'll pull out one of the potions of healing with the ooze.
Lance.
Check this shit out. Don't open it, though.
Okay. How about this? 500 gold pieces for the boots, but you introduced me to a new friend. And maybe if your new friend is amicable to maybe sharing some information about things. Would that be amenable?
We just make the introductions. The rest is up to you. And I'll slide over 500 gold pieces.
Well, I have many old tomes just rotting away. Sure. But in the just sake of friendship and all this hullapalooza that seems to be happening and going and carrying about, why the hell not?
See, you're loosening it up already.
If you made friends instead of making friends, you wouldn't have been trapped in a ruby for 100 years.
I had. Really, I thought I had a friend.
People can be complicated.
This is generally the reason why I prefer not. But then, sir, opposition of that argument is probably would not have been sitting around idle for 97 years. Maybe I had done something different.
Well, it's a new opportunity. Past is past.
And I love opportunities.
Feel like we just need to get like a crate of flyers, and then when we fly over towns, just pop one open. That's
Just
it.
air bomb flyers.
Yeah.
Both ours and his.
If you will come back this evening, give me an hour or two. I should have enough. Should give me enough time to make some minor adjustments to that scroll that you needed, and then you should be all set.
I've got one better for you. Since this might be our last supper, I insist that you come join us on our ship for a banquet.
You make it sound so droll and depressing.
I've got 2 barrels of liquor that we stole from the North Pole, and it's really delicious.
Okay, you can keep talking while we walk to your ship.
No, we'll see you there in an hour and a half after you finish working. You're not off the clock yet.
Fine.
We'll see you soon.
apart.
Hero crashes again.
Baby born.
Get on the trolley.
And
It's like that half asleep of like you're somewhat aware and then like pipe up.
Yeah.
It's
Just like-
the
I'm not asleep.
it's the when you wake up. I was watching that.
Yep.
Your middle-aged dad Sunday afternoon snapping.
Pretty much.
Okay. Make it back to your ship. Do anything else in the interim, or just wait for Morrison's arrival?
Start to prepare a feast.
Okay.
Hey,
and I'll brief the crew on what's going on. Just not give them all the details, but tell them that we're going to be indisposed for a short while. Not exactly sure how long, but they should feel free to use the ship as they see fit to make a bit of coin for themselves.
Well, okay, Captain. It was good port, and contacts with the Duke seem to be good, so we'll make do in your absence.
Just try to stay within a couple days' flight of Oberlin.
Good.
How long has it been thus far? Since the crew has been hired.
Few months.
Yeah, I mean, we hired him before we went to Terra.
That has been a few weeks, so it's maybe been about a month and a half or something.
It's been longer than that.
Union contracts due. Time to renegotiate pay.
Because we did all of Terra, we did Dracnaria, we came back, we spent like at least a week just resting in Oberlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's like
time
I
when
lost
we
track of time when we came back from the ice plains and we recovered Bill's memories. So it's been a month at the very least, plus maybe 2.5 weeks, give or take.
Okay.
Month and a half.
I don't mean to impose, Captain, but is the ready chest topped off?
It should be. We should have we put like 4 months worth of.
Yeah, we
pay
put
in
a
there.
shit ton of time on that one.
Perfect. Just in case your absence is elongated, something to mete out to the crew.
I trust you to see to their needs, and if you can make a little bit of coin on your own, great. If not, if there's no work that can be done within a couple days' flight of here, then you can set the crew loose, tell them they'll retain their pay, and tell them to go have some shore leave.
Shore leave might be helpful. It's been a while since they've been off duty. It's a good suggestion, Captain.
What a fine ruler of hell you're gonna make.
No.
Oh yeah.
Why is it that the angel is being the little devil on his shoulder?
Ends justify the means.
Okay.
Not all
So you get the
time.
situation squared along with Phasmus and the rest of the crew. They'll see what's about. If there's some job, they might take it if it's quick. Otherwise, they're probably leaning towards taking a week off or so. Probably about that time that Morrison shows up.
You have another guest.
The Duke.
Send him in.
Morrison comes in. The hatch actually. That is a fair point. Parked at the Duke's castle, no word met to the Duke. One of the guards, or one of the aides, individual you'd probably know by the name of Randall, makes his way over. The Duke does inquire about any sort of about your presence here, and should we acquire lodgings or such? Are you planning to stay?
We did tell him before we left that we were going to be gone for like 2 days and we'd be back, and that we didn't want to interfere with the investigation or anything, right?
That's right. Yeah, I believe so.
So he expected us back. if
Yeah,
nothing else.
it's like now it's like just kind of getting an update on your guys' plans.
Please extend our apologies to the Duke, as we have been busy this afternoon and didn't want to impose. But please let him and the lady know that we are hosting a sort of going away party, and that we will be departing in the morning, and ask him for us if it would be okay if we left the ship here for about a week while our crew takes some leave and we are off on our adventure.
I'll be sure to double check with the Duke, but if there are any arrangements that need to be made, your crew is available, we will reach out to them.
Of course, please be sure to extend an invitation to our festivities tonight to them as well.
Unfortunately, due to the current events taking place, there is a bit of the Duke and Duchess have requested privacy.
Fair enough.
Kyle was like, I am not doing 4 NPCs all at once.
No.
It's not just that.
It's a dinner party with Kyle, and Kyle.
This session plays itself.
Tonight's session brought to you by Kyle roleplays the entire thing for 4 hours. Fuck.
To
Introducing
avoid
Kyle.
that, unless there's any specific conversation anybody else wants to have, I'm happy to just say that we do have a fun, rambunctious partying night with the crew and our guests.
Okay.
And then in the morning we will, with the aid of Zuthar, go head off to hell.
Okay.
What you got, Levi?
Oh,
no.
I'm assuming Morrison does finish the scroll for me?
Morrison finishes the scroll.
Okay, perfect.
So basically, it ends up being like a modified scroll of recall. But I guess for all intents and purposes, like it's basically just like it should allow you traversal back to the material plane.
Back to the material plane or to Avernus?
Oh, you. I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood. So you want the scroll that he provides to also be allow you to?
Yeah, because I can get us back from hell. But
Okay.
if he's already doing like a plane shift to hell for us, then
Gotcha. Yeah. Then you're
that's
good.
what I want. In case we have to word of recall back here, then we don't have to like wait another week for him to prep a scroll or try to track down Zuthar wherever the fuck he might be.
We'll probably
Okay.
meet him in the shift. Like, oh, you traveling? Yep.
Yeah, no, Antonius, I was just hoping maybe you'd show me a few pointers at using javelins.
I mean, you throw it at the thing and it sticks into the thing. Fine to tell you.
There's a whole art to it, though. Like,
I mean, I feel like the trajectory would be less a problem for you with the arm situation you've got going on.
Okay, sorry. Okay, that out of the way. Everybody go to bed for the evening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do not.
Antonia says no.
Yeah, spend some time at the party waiting for working with Levi and javelins.
Okay.
And then, kind of as everybody else goes off to bed, I will go back into my quarters and retrieve that jar from my desk and kind of stare at it for a while and just wait for a little bit more time to pass, kind of enough time to make sure that everyone has gone to sleep.
Okay.
The fuck is in the jar?
Essence of Ulrun?
Essence of what?
Olrin.
Olrin.
Do Orin?
Olrin, though, not.
Could be. I mean, well, you could have asked Zuthar or anybody else about it. Actually, yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. Gone. Too busy, like, partying and thinking about not of the events or what to about, like the ramifications of what is about to transpire.
I also feel like we'd like looted his tower, and it's like, so we took this from you. What does it do?
Yeah.
It's a little in poor taste.
Just kind of winging it.
That was a little confusing, It could have been your tower. It might have still been his tower. The possession was a little odd.
When we took it, it was our tower. Trust Levi, he's a cop.
He knows the law.
So is Bill.
Allegedly.
I'm practically a doctor.
I've played one in real life. After what feels like at least enough time for everyone to settle in goes by, I will pick up the jar and leave my quarters.
Okay.
And kind of do a couple laps around the ship to make sure that all's quiet on the western front, so to speak.
Make a perception check.
Why are you being a creeper? Where are the kobolds?
Damn, I'm bad at these. 11.
Looks clear.
And then I will go by Harrow's room. Check to see if the door is unlocked.
Harrow, do you sleep with the door unlocked?
Has anyone busted in my room?
Maybe
I feel
the
like
occasional kobold.
Not since I stole the pistol like 6 months ago.
I feel like Harrow would generally keep it locked. She's of a suspicious nature.
But how
tired
tired is
is
he today?
Harrow was very tired. Alright. Evens. Unlocked. Odds, it's locked. It's unlocked.
Oh.
Harrow was fucking tired.
I will take the lid off of the jar, or kind of like not take it off, but I will loosen the lid enough, knowing what the substance is, and I will roll it into the room and shut the door and wait for a few seconds.
Okay, there's just a slight hiss as the
Fuck is that?
mist from within escapes. Harrow, you make a Constitution save, please.
That is a 19.
Okay. Antonius, will you also make a stealth check, please?
And I would have taken my armor off for this.
Okay.
I mean, I knew what I was going to do.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, fuck my life. 7.
7. Okay. Harrow. Just blissful dreams. Even as Antinius clunkily moves his way and the door creaks open.
I will.
What's your passive perception?
Harrow's is like 80.
No, not
Fuck.
Harrow's. Not
Oh,
Harrow's.
my passive is 10.
Antinius's. 10. Okay. You. The door creaks slightly. You kind of shoulder your way in. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. The kind of sweet smelling mist that lingers within Harrow's room kind of remains. You kind of feel your eyes kind of like get heavy. Just for a moment. Before you push into Harrow's room.
I will retrieve my jar
Okay.
and kind of glance around the room looking for Harrow's bag of holding.
Harrow, where do you keep your bag of holding?
So, Harrow doesn't have like a normal bed. So like it's more of like a nook, like a cocoon in the corner. So it would be in the desk, like a chest by her bed.
Okay.
It's like your bedside table.
Oh,
chest
yeah,
of
like,
drawers,
yeah.
Yeah.
I will kind of, if it's on top, I'll obviously, if not, I'll look for it. And I will place the celestial bullet with the note wrapped around it in the bag and kind of make sure it's well in there.
Okay.
And then I will leave. And when I get back into my room, I will drop the jar kind of off my desk next to, like, just kind of like it, maybe I hit it when I got back in the room from the night of raucous enjoyment.
Harrow,
And go to bed.
you can hear like something. Like you feel a presence. Like shadowy. Distant. Like something primal within you like tries to wake up. Just blissful slumber. It seems to just fade away. Distant and forgotten memory. As you are rendered unconscious by whatever was released from that jar.
Alright.
Everybody begins to wake up the next morning, and will pick up their next session.
Oh shit.
I
Oh
was so
no.
scared, Britt. I was like, motherfucker, if you kill me, I'm going to be so angry and I will rage quit tonight. Just rage quit.
I have been talking to Kyle about how to do this for like 2 weeks. To where it is, because at one point I was just going to make it a behind the scenes thing.
No.
Couple of offset rolls that you don't know what they're for. And...
What
Otherwise,
was the
like,
note?
it'd be locked. And then you were like, is it unlocked? You're really tired. And I'm like,
I know, I was like, oh, maybe that gets him.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to, like, Brett, Antinius, you make your way back to the room. Go to bed. Nestle yourself in and you slyly shut that door. And you miss convinced that you were unseen. Miss the soft padded footfalls of the kobolds sneaking down the hallway.
Ruh-roh. Brett stole it from Hera, and the kobold stole it from Brett.
Or maybe they
Wait,
noticed that
Brett
Harrow's
put the
room is
bullet
unlocked.
back in Harrow's bag, though, right?
Mhm.
I did.
With a note.
We don't know what the note says.
Nope.
And you never will because the kobold stole it.
I would say, like, generally, Harrow keeps, like, shit locked up because, one, there's kobolds, and if there's a little bit of, like, getting them to not break into something, like, even if it's 5 seconds, maybe someone will notice and prevent them. Not tonight. Everything's unlocked. Just, like, fuck it. Like, throw shit on the ground, like...
And then, rather than just chance it, your actually really cool knockout gas that you got one of just got wasted.
It's a hell of a con save.
No one knows.
For an unsolved, for an asleep person with exhaustion, that was a hell of a con save.
Hold on, because
You
exhaustion
left
doesn't
a
affect.
note. Why? I don't get
Instead of being the person of like,
It's
hey,
funny
I'm
'cause
sorry,
Yeah,
I'm wrong. Like, you're like, no, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna put a note. I'm gonna sneak in there so you never know, and I will never have to confront this and deal with this face to face. We'll never talk about it again.
So,
Until Harrow pulls out the note.
from Antinius' perspective, it has a lot less to do with that than the ramifications he foresees if Harrow knowingly possesses that.
Well, I guess that's a
That's
conversation we might find
like,
ourselves in
in a
next week.
Bag of holding. Because when it comes to like a bag of holding, you don't like, you just put your hand in there and grab whatever it is that you need. It's not really like an exploration type of thing, right?
No, you don't. Like, it's not like you. So Heward's handy haversack is the one that, like, you reach in there knowing what you want, and it's in your hand. A bag of holding, you
Okay.
kind of got to rummage around.
Okay.
That's why I think it's like a bonus action for the haversack, but it's an action to fish something out of a bag of holding.
Like, I imagine Harrow's room is just like...
I'm a little bit surprised it wasn't booby trapped.
No. Something that I should have done. I didn't think of that.
But she's gonna when she wakes
Yeah.
up to find her room a total wreck.
Whatever the kobolds do.
I was thinking about it when you were explaining that. I was like, Lance would totally lock his door. But then Ralph would unlock it to go smoke with Gary, so his room would always be unlocked.
And he would never lock it.
And Lance, for whatever reason, would just think that the door magically unlocks for him when he gets up.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
Fair.
Ralph, thanks for unlocking it for me as I woke up.
Must be Cogsworth.
Cogsworth.
Cogsworth is amazing. Waking me up with coffee. Best thing ever.
Good morning, sir. Here.
So good.
Well,
Even with that 1 in 20 chance that he's going to kill me. Still amazing.
You haven't had to roll for damage with your breakfast this week, though, so that was positive.
Right.
What is, like, the level? Was it, like, 93, or...
for
It's
what?
not very often he's gonna get
For
sliced up by
Cogsworth.
Cogsworth.
It's what, 5?
Yeah, I think it was like
5%.
95 he's
95.
correct, and then
Yeah.
5% he can kill you.
Yeah, there's a 5% chance of fail.
That was fantastic, Kyle. And I have no idea what Antinius is up to. But I like half thought Brett was just gonna murder fucking Aaron.
I know,
I toss in the knockout gas and I go in with my sword.
Just fucking coup de grace.
Start hacking. I was waiting for the like fulfilling the letter of the law. Like, I have to kill you, but I'll see you tomorrow when we get to hell.
Like, I have to kill you, but I can easily also bring you back up to the thing. Therefore, I did dispense justice.
Yeah, you can like kill her and then instant revive her, and then she just has 2 points of exhaustion.
That has been had.
Yeah.
You're following the letter of the law, not quite the spirit of it.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Kyle, anything you want to say before we go?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.